Chapter 101, Collecting Nine-Tailed Chakra. In the book of poetry read by you, Naruto has collapsed, and four tails burst out in anger. Has it finally started? It really made me wait. Looking at Naruto's changes, Chen said with a sneer, then cancel the monthly reading and return to reality. In reality, Naruto at this time was also wrapped in a mass of violent chakra, forming a huge spherical shape, and violent power came from the spherical chakra. This change surprised both Shikamaru and Kankuro who were present. They didn't know what was going on. They just saw that after Chen showed a flaw, Naruto immediately rushed towards Chen, and then watched to Naruto inexplicably, a powerful chakra erupted from his body and wrapped himself. What's wrong with Naruto? It feels very bad. Kankuro came to Shikamaru and asked Shikamaru while looking at Naruto solemnly. Naruto, although I don't know what happened, I must have something to do with Chen Uchiha. Shikamaru looked at Chen with the same solemn expression and whispered. At this time, Naruto, who was wrapped in the ominous chakra, changed again, and saw a chakra pillar suddenly shot into the sky from above the spherical chakra. Because it was in the ruins, the chakra pillar hit the top of the ruins directly, smashed the top of the ruins through a hole, and then the long chakra column shot straight into the sky through the hole. Immediately afterwards, the chakra ball wrapped around Naruto suddenly exploded, forming a violent shock wave, blowing away all the surrounding gravel and dust. Facing the oncoming gravel, Chen directly cast Susa. Nengu formed a barrier around him, blocking all the rubble flying towards him, while Shikamaru quickly picked Sakura up and could only keep avoiding the rubble, but was still blocked by a few pieces. The gravel hit. After the shock wave disappeared, the dust dissipated, and everyone saw Naruto coming out of the chakra ball. As this, Naruto. Seeing Naruto's appearance, Shikamaru and Kankuro were shocked. It's no wonder they were so surprised, because Naruto at this time couldn't see the appearance of a human at all. I saw Naruto at this time, bowed on all fours, his whole body was wrapped in dark red chakra, with four tails formed by chakra waving behind him, and from Naruto came extremely dangerous signal. A low beast-like roar came out of his throat, looking like an unknown beast. Naruto, what's wrong with you? Seeing Naruto's appearance, Shikamaru shouted worriedly at Naruto. However, Naruto ignored him, just staring at Chen not far in front of him, as if he had already regarded him as prey. Hey, Naruto ... Seeing Naruto ignoring him, Shikamaru had an ominous premonition in his heart, and he couldn't help calling Naruto loudly again, and at the same time he was on guard. Naruto responded to his call this time. Naruto turned his head and looked at him indifferently, but didn't say a word. Then Naruto suddenly stretched out a paw at Shikamaru and grabbed him. Come over. The claws were also formed by those dark red chakras, which could extend for a long time and grabbed towards Shikamaru. Fortunately, Shikamaru was on guard. When he saw Naruto attacking him, he immediately reacted, holding Sakura to avoid Naruto's claws. Damn, Naruto, what's wrong with you? I'm Shikamaru. After dodging Naruto's claws, Shikamaru shouted at Naruto again, trying to wake Naruto. However, it was Naruto's claws that responded to him. What's going on? Naruto will actually attack you. Kankuro, who was next to Shikamaru, immediately said to him after Shikamaru dodged Naruto's attack again. I don't know, but now Naruto makes me feel very strange, he doesn't seem to know us anymore. Then what shall we do? Let's look at the situation first. I haven't figured out a countermeasure yet, be careful, don't let him attack. Seeing Naruto attacking again, Shikamaru quickly reminded Kankuro. I advise you to leave here as soon as possible. The current Naruto has been eroded by the nine-tailed chakra and doesn't know you at all. He will only treat you as prey and will not show mercy to you. Chen, who was standing on the other side, said with a sneer. Damn, you must have done something to Naruto to make him like this, right? Shikamaru asked Chen Lisheng. Yes, I did it. Why are you doing this? What is your purpose? I naturally have my reasons for doing this. Don't talk nonsense anymore. You should get out of here. Don't worry, I won't do anything to Naruto. Impossible, I won't believe your nonsense, let alone let Naruto stay here alone. No matter what, I will wake Naruto. Haha then do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't interfere with me. Chen chuckled a few times, then released the state of Shuzuo, and walked slowly towards Naruto, while his hands were tied. Uchiha Chen, what are you doing? Shikamaru exclaimed immediately after seeing Chen's actions, thinking that Chen was going to be bad for Naruto. Chen didn't pay much attention to Shikamaru's exclamation, snorted coldly, and still walked towards Naruto. And Naruto also noticed Chen's actions, roared at Chen, and then rushed towards Chen. Humph, let you try this. Facing the menacing Naruto, Chen didn't seem flustered, and didn't mean to dodge at all, just sneered and finished the seal, wood done and thorns killing technique. After Chen completed the seal, several thick wooden strips of arms suddenly burst out from under Naruto's feet. Those wooden strips were like snakes, wrapping around Naruto's body, starting from the feet, then the hands, tail, and body. Instantly tied Naruto, and Naruto is struggling desperately, but he can't break free from the shackles of Mudun. Nani, it turned out to be the blood follower of the first Hokage-sama. Wood done. Seeing that Chen actually used wood done, Shikamaru was so shocked that he couldn't help shouting out. Just stay with me. After Naruto was tied up, Chen took out the tailed beast chakra collector, then walked to Naruto and put the tailed beast chakra collector in his hand. Stabbed Naruto fiercely. P.S. Ball reward. Ball customization. Chapter 102, First Meeting Nine Tails. Damn, Uchiha Chen, what have you done to Naruto? Shikamaru, who was originally shocked by Chen's mudden, saw Chen and loved that teapot-like thing stabbed on Naruto's body and wanted to stop him. It was too late, so I could only shout. Don't worry, just borrow a little chakra from Naruto, it won't have any adverse effect on Naruto. I don't have any grudges with him, there's no need to hurt him. Chakra. At the beginning, Uchiha Chen seemed to be coming for the Shuhei chakra in Gaara's body. So, is his purpose the chakra of the nine tails? Let Kankuro think of something, but he didn't say it right away. After a while, the teapot in Chen's hand sucked up the nine-tailed chakra, and Chen also retracted the teapot in his hand into the space. Okay, as for you. After putting the unchakra collector back into the space, Chen's purpose was also achieved. Then he looked at Naruto who was struggling and said playfully, let me see this legendary nine tails. Saying that, his eyes were transformed into eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel eyes again, staring at Naruto-tailed beast. Beast, calm down for me. Then, Chen's consciousness appeared directly in a sewer. There is a pool of diving flowing in this sewer, and the surroundings are very quiet, except for the sound of dripping water from nowhere. This is where the nine tails are sealed. Although it is very dark here, Chen can still see clearly, and there is a faint light not far away. That's where the nine tails are sealed. Let me see this strongest tailed beast. Chen whispered to himself, then walked towards the direction of the faint light. Soon, Chen reached the end of the passage, and a tall iron gate appeared in Chen's sight. I saw a piece of talisman paper clinging to the door, with a large ceiling character written on the talisman paper, and the surrounding of the ceiling character was covered with mysterious patterns. There was a strange red light flashing inside the gate, and dark red chakra flowed from the gate. At the same time, Chen also found Naruto standing in front of the gate. At this time, Naruto was in a very bad situation. The chakra flowing out from behind the gate was about to wrap him completely, and only the head was left. The department has not been covered by the dark red chakra, and Naruto is still desperately resisting. Humph. Seeing this scene, Chen snorted coldly, then came to Naruto's side, stretched out his hand to grab Naruto's neck, and then suddenly pulled Naruto out of the dark red chakra. Then he threw Naruto on the ground, and at the same time looked inside the iron gate jokingly. After Naruto was thrown out by Chen, he first gasped violently, then raised his head in surprise, saw a person's back, and exclaimed, "You are Chen." Why are you here? Then he reflected it again, showing an angry expression, got up from the ground, and rushed towards Chen. You bastard. Enough, I'm not in the mood to toss with you anymore, just stay with me in peace. Hearing Naruto rushing towards him, Chen yelled at Naruto without looking back. You already know that it's just an illusion, your companions are all right, don't worry. After hearing Chen's words, Naruto stopped. Of course he knew that it was an illusion, but it was all too realistic, and he spent a long time in the moon reading space, listening to the misery of his companions. Crying and begging made him collapse, and he couldn't think about whether it was an illusion or real. Now that he was broken by Chen Dao, he also calmed down. Damn, why did you do that? Although he calmed down, Naruto still couldn't let go of Waichen's actions and asked him. Of course it's to get the monster out of your body, because I'm curious about it. The monster in my body, don't you already know? Of course, Chen replied with a sneer, and then ignored Naruto, but said jokingly inside the iron gate, what's the matter, Juwei, come out and say hello. As soon as Zai Chen's voice fell, a pair of huge eyes suddenly appeared inside the iron gate, followed by a huge mouth full of sharp fangs. You are Soga, you are a member of the Uchiha clan. I didn't expect to grow up to this point, to be able to see me in Naruto because of those forbidden writing wheels. The power of the cursed clan. Kyuubi said in his low voice. It's not the first time you've seen Sharingan. Juwei, Chen said to Juwei with a sneer. That Hitomi, and the more ominous chakra than me, are exactly the same as Madara Uchiha in the past, disgusting. Really, but now I don't dare to be compared with Madara Uchiha. That's it, I'm here just to see the rumored nine-tailed demon fox. Since I've already seen it, I should leave. But, we will definitely meet again in the future, Nine Tails. Chen said meaningfully, and then disappeared in front of Naruto and Nine Tails with a chuckle. Hee tilde let's meet again. What an interesting guy. Forget it, let's stop for today. Kyuubi chuckled a few times, then closed his eyes, ignoring Naruto. And the dark red chakra that had flowed out of the gate also slowly shrank back into the iron gate. In the outside world, what Shikamaru and others saw was that Naruto, who was struggling desperately, stopped struggling instantly after being glared at by Chen, and became quiet, as if they had encountered something very terrifying. Immediately afterwards, Naruto's body changed, and the tailed beast coat that originally wrapped him was constantly degrading. Start with the head, then the body, and finally the tail is gone. Gradually, Naruto's original appearance was revealed. At this time, Naruto seemed to be severely burned, and the skin of his whole body was burned red, and he was still smoking. And after Naruto recovered, Chen also lifted the wooden escape ninjutsu. Without the support of the wooden sticks, Naruto fell to the ground. Naruto. Seeing this, Shikamaru and Kankuro, who had been worried about Naruto, hurried over and helped Naruto to sit up. Chen didn't stop Shikamaru and the others from approaching, just looked at them playfully, then ignored them, turned and left, and Shikamaru and others knew that they couldn't stop Chen, so they didn't shout. P.S. Ball Customization. Chapter 103, Main Quest. After meeting the Nine Tails, Chen also left the ruins, and Shikamaru and the others were also acquainted and did not come to entangle them again, so there was no need for Chen to kill them all. For Chen, killing them is just a little effort, but it is not good for Chen. No matter what, in the previous life, Chen also admired Xiaoqiang. As long as it did not hinder him, he would not go down. Killer. I didn't expect that the harvest of this trip would be so great. Not only did the kaleidoscope evolve into eternity, but it was also exchanged for Mu-Dun, and even the chakra of the Nine Tails was obtained. The matter has also been resolved. Thinking of this, Chen rushed back towards the road where he came. Along the way, Chen has been thinking about a problem. Originally Chen's biggest purpose is to become stronger, and then return to Konoha to get rid of Konoha's elders to avenge the Uchiha family, and he has been running around for this goal. Now, he already has enough power, and it is easy to kill Konoha for revenge, but what to do after killing Danzo again? he has never thought about this, it was because he had no strength before, and he was single-minded. I just wanted to take revenge, so I didn't think so much. Now that I have the strength, I have to plan my future path. And since he has offended Konoha and Sandian now, even if he wants to settle down, these two shinobi villages cannot easily let him go. There is also Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Madara. These two people have been calculating Sasuke's eyes in the original work. If they are told that they have a kaleidoscope writing wheel eye, then they will definitely come to the door. No matter if they are coercing or enticing, they must want to be on their side. The above 2 points all show that it is completely impossible for oneself to stay out of it. More importantly, he himself is also unwilling to settle down like this. After all, he still has an omnipotent system on his body, and he believes that he is no worse than others. If he wants to subdue him, he cannot do it. Therefore, whether it is the ninja allied forces or Uchiha Madara, there is no place for him. If he wants to stand in the gap between the two parties, he must have the strength or power that can make everyone jealous. It seems that there is still a long way to go in the future. Since God has reborn me in this world and has given me the golden finger of the system, then let me do something big with vigor and vigor. I, Uchiha Chen, are doomed not to. It will be silent like this. I want to be above everyone, and let the entire ninja world surrender at the feet of my Uchiha. At this moment, Chen's body exudes a sense of confidence and arrogance. At this moment, the system that never released tasks easily sounded the task prompt again. Ding. The system issued a task. Due to the change in the host's mind, the hidden ultimate task was inspired. Become the strongest in this world. To rule the entire Naruto world. Mission time limit, 10 years. Mission reward, Heart of the World, 1 million points. Lottery draw, 10 times. Penalty for mission failure. The system will reclaim all the abilities exchanged by the host, and make the host's points negative the status of 500,000. This task is mandatory and cannot be refused. Quote. Oh, the ultimate mission. And it's still mandatory, but it's exactly what I want. It seems that I'm destined to not be able to settle down. When you want to do one thing well, the system will issue a task, and this time is of course no exception, but I didn't expect that the system issued a mandatory ultimate task. However, the content of this task is the same as Chen thought, which is exactly in Chen's mind. Since it's been decided, let's go back to Orochimaru first, which will be the place of my rise. Thinking of this, Chen didn't think about it anymore, and accelerated the speed of his journey. No accident happened along the way. Chen soon returned to the small town where Orochimaru sent someone to meet him. Seeing that it was getting late, Chen had to spend the night in the small town. The next morning, he left the small town and rushed towards Tianjiguo. However, after Chen left the small town, he sensed that he was already being watched, and followed Chen all the way from the small town. It turned out to be 4 ninjas from Sandian village, and their strength has reached the level of Shangnin. After intercepting Chen, the 4 sand shinobi quickly surrounded Chen to prevent Chen from escaping. One of the sand shinobi stepped forward and asked Chen, "Are you Uchiha Chen or Uchiha Sasuke?" Hee, guess what? Chen couldn't help laughing when he heard that the other party asked such a dramatic question. Damn, don't care if he is Uchiha Chen or Uchiha Sasuke. Anyway, both of them are S-class rebels wanted by Konoha, and Uchiha Chen also killed and kidnapped our ninja. In short, let's put him first. When you catch him, you will know whether he is Uchiha Chen or Uchiha Sasuke, and then hand over to Konoha, and let Konoha give us justice. Another sand shinobi said. That's true, arrest him first. The other 2 sand shinobi also agreed. No matter if you are Uchiha Chen or Uchiha Sasuke, but since you are an S-class wanted criminal of our ally Konoha, you dare to show up in our country of wind. If you let you escape like this, then we the land of wind is not a joke, so when you meet us, you should consider yourself unlucky. A sand ninja showed a cruel grin at Chen, and then attacked directly towards Chen. The other 3 sand ren did not attack together, but looked at Chen with great interest. In their opinion, no matter how powerful Chen is, it is impossible for him to be the opponent of Shangren, not to mention that there are so many of them at this time. Chen couldn't escape, as if Chen was already meat on the chopping board in their eyes. I don't know whether to live or die. Chen's expression turned cold when he saw that the other party was attacking him without knowing how to live or die, and then he directly turned on the eternal kaleidoscope. He ominously wasted time on these people, intending to fight quickly. I saw that Sha Ren, who was attacking, was stunned when he saw Chen's eyes, and then suddenly found that his body was nailed by several huge wooden stakes at some point, and his body could not move. Not only him, but also the other 3 sand ninjas, their bodies were nailed by huge wooden stakes, unable to move at all. Magic. The art of hanging. One of the illusion abilities of Hypnosis Eye, possessed by Sharing Wheel Eyes. In the spiritual world constructed by the magician, the limbs of the captured person will feel like they are being punched into wedges, and the freedom of the body will be completely lost. An illusion accompanied by physical pain. It exerts a powerful effect like torture. The supreme illusion that restrains the opponent's actions requires no seal, and can be activated simply by looking at the opponent. Chapter 104. Itachi is now. After Chen had dealt with the 4 Sha ninjas, he planned to continue on his way. Those Sha ninjas didn't cause any trouble to Chen except for giving Chen 40,000 points. My stupid brother, you really gave me a big surprise. Just when Chen had dealt with the few Sha Ren and was about to leave, a playful voice sounded behind Chen, causing Chen to frown, turning around silently, and found not far behind him, I don't know when 2 people are standing. Both of them were dressed in black robes and red clouds. Although one of them was expressionless, there was a hint of surprise in his eyes, while the other had a shark face, small eyes, and a bandage behind him. The entwined weapon was looking at Chen with a playful expression at this time. The identities of these 2 people are about to be revealed. They are the core members of the Akatsuki organization, Konoha's S-Class Rebel Uchiha Itachi and Kurigak's S-Class Rebellion, Oni Shark. It turned out that after Ju told Itachi about Chen's information, he had been monitoring Chen's movements outside Yinyan Village. When Chen left Yinyan Village, Ju immediately told Itachi about Chen's whereabouts. So Itachi set off for the country of wind, and finally intercepted Chen at this time. After seeing the person coming, although Chen was a little surprised, he didn't care too much. With his current strength, there is no need to fear anyone at all. Even if Uchiha Itachi and Oni Shark join forces, they will not pose much threat to themselves. But Chen was not in a hurry. He wanted to see what purpose Uchiha Itachi came to find him, so Chen also showed a playful expression and said playfully, "Oh, who am I here? It turns out to be my dearest brother. You, that pair of writing wheel eyes, how far can you see?" Itachi didn't pick up Chen's words, but looked at Chen's eyes indifferently, and said something inexplicably. Itachi's words made Chen stunned for a moment, and then said with a sneer, "How far can I see? Now what my eyes can see is the way you died." Itachi suddenly felt that he had never seen through Chen. Chen was different from a simple Sasuke. He was very special since he was a child. Itachi always couldn't guess what Chen was thinking, especially on the day when Uchiha killed the clan. Chen came back and saw it. The scene of the tragic death of his parents was completely different from the emotions that Sasuke showed. He did not behave like a child at all. He even released the month to him and reproduced the whole process of genocide. She shed tears silently at Makoto's cold corpse, showing no other emotions. After Chen turned into an idiot, Itachi was also full of self-blame, but there was also a trace of peace of mind in his heart, because then Chen or Sasuke would not be taken away by Danzo. Although he was not in Konoha, he had been following Konoha's every move. After the death of the 3rd generation, he immediately rushed back to Konoha to let Konoha's elders know that Uchiha Itachi was not dead yet, in order to achieve the purpose of protecting Sasuke and Chen. Also, after Ju Chen's information was told to him, he couldn't wait to rush over. Chen's kaleidoscope writing wheel eye pupil skills shown by the killing of the sand ninjas just now made him even more surprised. Although he didn't know when and why Chen opened his eyes, he was still worried that Chen would be addicted to it. In the power of the kaleidoscope Sharian eye, I abused the pupil technique of the kaleidoscope shaker's eye to cause blindness, so I want to remind Chen. I'm dying. Itachi slowly closed his eyes, then suddenly opened them, and at the same time the three-hooked jade in his eyes had turned into a boomerang pattern, which was Itachi's kaleidoscope writing wheel eye. Then show it to me again. At the same time, Itachi planned to cast the strongest illusion on Chen again, Tsukiyomi. However, after Itachi opened the kaleidoscope shaker, Chen was not afraid at all, and also looked at Itachi with the kaleidoscope shaker. After Itachi performed the moon reading on him, with the powerful pupil of the eternal kaleidoscope shaker force, so that Itachi was attacked by his own moon reading. Itachi, who had originally pulled Chen into the Yudu space, hadn't had time to preach, and then the scene in Yudu suddenly changed. When he reflected, he found that he had been tied to a stake, and Chen this Shijung stood in front of him with a long knife and looked at him with a sneer. After discovering his current situation, Itachi, who had no expression at all, showed a slightly surprised expression. Apart from that, there was no other emotion. Haha are you surprised? Chen, who was standing in front of Itachi, said playfully after seeing Itachi's surprised expression. I'm really surprised. I didn't expect your eyes to bounce back from my monthly reading. Is your kaleidoscope's pupil power so strong? You've become stronger, Chen. Yes, I have already surpassed you now. Soga, I want to get your eyes more and more now. At the beginning, I would save your life, so that one day, when you have the same eyes as mine, I will let me take your eyes. Eyes, in that case, my eyes will be able to evolve one step further. Now, you have finally grown to this point. Saying this, Itachi looked at Chen's eyes with a greedy expression. Kaleidoscope shakers are cursed eyes. From the moment they open, these eyes move towards darkness. The more they are used, the more they will be sealed. The kaleidoscope will lose its light one day. However, there is a person who broke the curse of the kaleidoscope shaker. This person is Uchiha Madara. Once, Madara also had a brother, a younger brother. Both of them killed their closest people to get the kaleidoscope shaker. Kaleidoscope's powerful pupil power leads the Uchiha clan, and his older brother Madara becomes the leader. However, Madara, who lived a very smooth life, had some kind of mutation in her body. As I said before, these eyes are cursed and used well. The more frequent it is, the more it will be sealed, and eventually it will go to complete darkness. This is the end of the kaleidoscope shaker. At the same time as gaining a strong pupil power, the price is that the power will be slowly closed by itself, and the light will be lost. Then Madara took his brother's eyes and evolved the kaleidoscope into a permanent kaleidoscope, right? Hearing Itachi tell him the secret of the kaleidoscope, Chen chuckled and said. Chen's words surprised Itachi once again. Originally, he planned to tell Chen about the drawbacks of the kaleidoscope writing wheel, just to make Chen stop abusing the pupil power of the kaleidoscope, but now it seems that Chen has already know what. Sorry for getting up late today. Chapter 105, Conversation Between Brothers. Itachi, who originally wanted to tell Chen about the disadvantages of the kaleidoscope, was shocked by what Chen said. He never expected that Chen would already know the secret of the kaleidoscope. That's right, Madara Uchiha tried every means to regain the light, but none of them were effective. He was desperate, so Madara, who was confused by the kaleidoscope, took his brother's eyes with his own hands in order to regain the light. Madara, I have gained light, and the light of those eyes will not be lost again. Eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel eyes. And my brother's eyes have received eternal light because they have found a new host. Not only that, but even changed. The unique new pupil technique was born in those eyes. However, this way of exchanging eyes can only be carried out between clansmen. Not everyone can get new power in this way, which is why many sacrifices later. This is another secret of these eyes. Quote. Although he was surprised why Yu Chen learned the secret of the kaleidoscope, Itachi regained his usual indifference after being surprised, and continued. Madara used that power to bring all the ninja tribes under the sect, and then because it was called the ninja world at that time. The strongest Seno Senju joined forces and established a new organization, which is Konoha. Later, Madara and the leader of Senju, the first Hokage in the future, had a confrontation for the leadership policy of the village, although they were fighting for dominance. He was defeated in the battle, but Madara still coexists with his pupil power. He founded an organization called Akatsuki and hid in it. 13 years ago, Kuo's attack on Konoha was caused by him, but it was stopped by the fourth Hokage, which means. Saying this, a smile appeared on Itachi's mouth, and then he said, "Now Madara is just a loser, and he is not the one who can stand at the top of the Uchiha clan. Surpassing that man, beyond Madara, the person who is close to the real peak, is me." Itachi's expression gradually became frenzied. "From this moment, I can finally get the power beyond Madara. Chen, you and Sasuke are the new light for me, you are my accessories, and the Uchiha family was originally one." In order to get the kaleidoscope, the filthy clan that would not hesitate to kill friends, and in order to obtain eternal pupil power, would not hesitate to turn against each other, and have always been proud of this kind of power. When you were born from this clan, you were already involved in this bloody fate. My brother, I want to kill you, free yourself from the fate of the family, and get real change, put aside constraints, free yourself from your own power. Wow. Just when Itachi was still talking nonsense with a frenzy on his face, Chen sneered and stabbed the long knife in his hand into Itachi's chest, causing his words to come to an abrupt end. "What are you talking about by yourself? It's annoying, don't think of me as a simple idiot of Sasuke. So don't use the way you deal with Sasuke to deal with me. As for the kaleidoscope writing wheel, I know no less than you." After hearing Chen's words, Itachi withdrew his frenzied expression and said solemnly, "You seem to know something, who told you?" The first thing Itachi thought was that Madara Obito had already found it. Chen, he knows that the strength that Yichen is showing now will definitely arouse Ban's interest. If Chen has really been eyed by Ban, then his younger brother may be involved. That's why he was so nervous. He absolutely wouldn't allow such a thing to happen. What else do you know? Did someone wearing a vortex mask calling himself Madara Uchiha approach you? It seems that you are very nervous. Are you worried that Sasuke and I will be induced by Madara Uchiha? My good brother, Hearing Itachi's nervous tone and the anger in his eyes, Chen chuckled lightly. He waved his hand and signaled Itachi not to be so nervous. "Don't be so nervous, I know everything I should know, including your transaction with Konoha high-level officials, as well as the truth of the extermination, even your body and your blurred vision. I know all about it, so you don't have to pretend to be like that in front of me. Also, no one has ever looked for me, I know all this myself, and I don't know where it came from. Say more." Hearing Chen's words, Itachi was silent, and after a while, he said again, "When did you? You know the truth. A long time ago, early you can't imagine." Sokka, then, Sasuke, did he know? You can rest assured, I haven't told anyone about this except you, including Sasuke. Really? That's fine, then, you can tell me why you hid yourself and defected from Konoha. If I didn't do this, maybe I would have been caught by Danzo and brought under the control of the Root Department. As for why I defected, you think I will continue to stay after I know the truth of the matter? The filthy village. Then why did you go to Orochimaru? You should know what the purpose of Orochimaru is. When Sasuke wanted to take refuge in Orochimaru, why didn't you stop it? Why should I stop it? This is the path he chose by himself. Since he wants to gain more power, he has to pay the price, and I don't think there is anything wrong with it. Orochimaru is a very good teacher. It would be more appropriate for him to teach Sasuke. Sasuke will be much better with him than with Konoha. However, Orochimaru's purpose is to use Sasuke as a container, and he wants to take Sasuke's body. You don't have to worry about it. Although I don't have a good relationship with Sasuke, he is my Uchiha Chen's twin brother. I can't leave him alone. As for what you are worried about, I won't let him happen. Is that so? Then I'll ask you one last question. Itachi looked at Chen's eyes and asked solemnly, "Are you hating the village?" Hearing Itachi's question, Chen did not answer immediately, but showed a playful expression, while Itachi kept staring at Chen's eyes, waiting for Chen's answer. Chapter 106. Leaving. "So, what do you want me to do with Konoha? Instead of worrying about Konoha, it's better to worry about your own body. I think you have done so much to make me and Sasuke stronger, and then let Sasuke and I become stronger. Let's go get your eyes, shall we? And then go back to Konoha to revive Uchiha, right? With your current physical condition, can Sasuke survive until Sasuke finds you?" "Sure enough, you already know everything, and since that's the case, why don't you take my eyes away now? Don't you want to have that supreme eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel eye? Haha, you should leave those eyes to Sasuke. I have no interest in your eyes at all, and the eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel eye you mentioned, I already have it now." Chen said this order. Itachi was shocked by the secret. "So, you don't need to worry about my eyes going blind." "What? How is it possible? If it is impossible to evolve the kaleidoscope into eternity without transplanting the eyes of your relatives, how can you?" "I really don't have anyone's eyes transplanted, it's just the way it is, nothing is impossible. It turns out that it is no wonder that you can make my monthly reading backlash, it is because you have evolved the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye to eternity, so your pupil power can be so much stronger than mine. What have you experienced? No transplants. The human eye has evolved the kaleidoscope into eternity, isn't it? You think too much, it's impossible, I'm just an exception, not everyone can." "Really? It seems that I really think too much. But this way I can rest assured. I was still worried that I only have one pair of eyes, so what will happen to the other of the two of you? Now it's alright." Itachi he didn't ask how Chen evolved Wanwantong into eternity. Everyone has some little secrets in their hearts. He just needs to know that he doesn't have to worry about who to give his eyes to. "However, Chen, I still want to ask you not to be enemies with Konoha." Just when Itachi was about to persuade Chen not to be an enemy of Konoha, Chen waved his hand and interrupted Itachi. "Okay, I know what you want to say, I will definitely avenge the revenge of the Uchiha clan. No one can stop me." Itachi looked at Chen silently, but Chen did not dodge, and also looked at Itachi, his eyes full of firmness. The two remained silent and did not talk about life. After a long time, Chen still made concessions. "Okay, look at you. For the sake of taking care of me in the past, I promise you that I will only deal with Konoha's elders, and I will never let them go no matter what. As for Konoha's other people, I don't have to take the initiative to provoke them. But if they dare to come stop me from taking revenge, that's my fault. Well, maybe I'll be gone by then let Konoha choose." Itachi didn't push Chen anymore. He knew that Ichen's current strength didn't need to listen to his opinion at all. He could make concession as hard to come by. In the end, Itachi showed a rare smile and said to Chen, "Okay, is there nothing to do? Since that's the case, I should leave too. I'm here today to see how far you have grown. Now it looks like I don't need to worry anymore." Seeing Itachi's smile, Chen was stunned for a moment, and then said, "It's really time to leave." Chen's thoughts moved, and all the ropes tied to Itachi were automatically untied. After Itachi was free, Chen looked at Itachi with a complicated expression. Eyes, and then said, "Brother, this may be the last time I call you that. You take care of yourself." Itachi smiled and looked at Chen as well. "Forgive me, Chen." Immediately afterwards, Chen released Yudu, and the two instantly returned to reality from the Yudu space. Although a long time has passed in the monthly reading, in reality, only a second has passed. Just after returning to reality from Yudu space, Itachi was suddenly paralyzed. Fortunately, the ghost shark next to him responded quickly and instantly supported Itachi so that Itachi did not fall to the ground. What happened? The ghost shark hadn't figured out the situation yet. He only saw that Itachi opened the kaleidoscope writing wheel 1 second, and the next second Itachi was suddenly paralyzed, which he didn't expect. "His pupil power is stronger than mine. I was attacked, we withdraw." "I see. Hearing Itachi's words, the ghost shark showed a surprised expression, but he didn't ask any further questions. He directly lifted Itachi, and then took Itachi away. The two came and went quickly, and they disappeared from Chen's sight in the blink of an eye. Chen didn't pay attention to Gui Shark's actions until after Gui Shark took Itachi away. He looked at the direction Itachi left and chuckled a few times, then turned around and left the same place, and continued on his way to Tianjiguo. After both parties had left, not far from where Chen was just now, a huge pitcher plant suddenly emerged from the ground. It was the intelligence officer of Xiao's organization, absolutely. Yeah, what happened? Itachi seems to be injured. Did they fight just now? Baiju asked in confusion. Well, they should have fought each other. It seems that Itachi planned to release the pupil technique on Uchiha Chen, but in the end he was attacked by his pupil technique, so he was traumatized. Hiju explained. I was attacked by my own pupil technique. What's going on? It's pupil power. Uchiha Chen's pupil power is much stronger than Itachi, so he directly bounced Itachi's pupil technique back and let Itachi hit his pupil technique. So that's the case. What should we do now? Are we going to continue to follow Uchiha Chen? Baiju asked. No, depending on the direction Uchiha Chen chose, he should be going back to Orochimaru's Sound Ninja Village, so we don't need to rush to follow him. I didn't expect that Uchiha Chen's pupil strength as a younger brother is actually stronger than that of his elder brother. It's really interesting that Itachi is so powerful. Let's go back first, tell Afei this information, and see what he thinks. Okay. Tightly, Ju slowly sank to the ground on the spot, and the surroundings fell into peace again, as if no one had appeared just now. Let me talk about it here. The setting of God Itachi in this book is that he will die like the original, because Itachi is too love for peace and even killed his parents for peace. Let him go according to the original book, please don't spray it. Chapter 107, Synthetic Potion. After separating from Itachi, Chen hurried all the way to Tianjiguo, but there were no more accidents along the way. After a long journey, Chen finally returned to Orochimaru's Yinren village. After entering the Yinren village, all the Yinren encountered, without exception, all saluted Chen, and respectfully addressed Chen as Lord Chen. This should be ordered by Orochimaru. Chen didn't pay much attention to those cages. The first thing Chen did when he came back was not to find Orochimaru, but to walk towards his room, and then he stayed in his room and did not come out. On the other side, in the previous hall, Orochimaru was sitting on a seat in the hall, listening to what the pharmacist reported to him with a playful face. Master Orochimaru, the people below are here to spread the word. Chen-jun has returned to Yinren village, and now he is staying in his room and did not come out. It is really rude for Chen-jun to do this, and Wei Yinren village did not come to see him first. Lord Orochimaru. Let him. After all, that thing made us do something wrong, and it is expected that he will give us a look, or maybe he is really tired. We don't have to talk about him behind his back, and after tomorrow, I'll go see him in person again. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. Is Sasuke still practicing at the training ground? Yes, Sasuke-kun doesn't seem to have any reaction to the news of Chen-kun's return. He doesn't seem to care at all. He is still practicing in the training ground. Soga, Sasuke has made great progress recently. He hasn't come to me to teach him new ninjutsu these days, but has been practicing several ninjutsu on a scroll, which seems to be Chen. Leave it to Sasuke. Why did Chen-jun do this? Isn't the relationship between the two brothers at odds? And Sasuke-kun seems to regard Chen-jun as an enemy. Isn't Chen-jun making trouble for himself by doing this? It's a matter between their brothers, so let's not get involved. As long as it doesn't affect Sasuke being my container, I won't interfere in their affairs. Also, in the future of Chen-jun, don't worry about it, that thing has already aroused his disgust. Yes, Lord Orochimaru, I understand. Okay, you go down first. Yes, my subordinates retire. Yao Shido bowed to Orochimaru and then withdrew. And Chen did not rest immediately after returning to his room. He did not go to see Orochimaru on purpose. After all, the last time Orochimaru sent a pharmacist to follow him, it really made him very angry, but now he still needs to rely on Orochimaru's power, so he doesn't want to turn against him for the time being. At this moment, Chen sat on the only bed in the room and contacted the system. System, you said last time that you can synthesize a potion from the Garrel ore vein, right? Answer to the host. Yes, Garrel's veins contain strong vitality and powerful strength. As long as there are enough Garrel stones and points, the system can synthesize this magical potion for the host. How much does a bottle of Garrel's potion cost? Answer to the host. It will cost 10,000 points and a Garrel stone worth 10,000 points in volume. Is it that expensive? There are already 20,000 points before and after. Hearing the system's words, let Chen frown. He calculated, his current points are still left, 101,000 points, which were originally exchanged for mutton at the time of ninjutsu. There were still 61,000 points left, but on the way back, the forejoin of Sandian provided Chen with 40,000 points, adding up to a total of 101,000 points. Forget it, the more expensive it is, the more expensive it is. After all, the effect of that potion is really strong. Anyway, there are quite a lot of points now, so let's synthesize a few bottles of potion to try the effect. 5 Garrel stones were extracted from the Garrel ore, and then he instructed the system, System, give me 5 bottles of Garrel's potions. Ding! Synthesis is in progress. Deducted points. 50,000 points. The host's remaining points. 51,000. When the system's prompt sounded, the 5 Garrel stones in Chen's hand disappeared, and Chen's points were also deducted a lot of money. After a moment, 5 more bottles with a light blue liquid appeared in Chen's hands. Chen first put all the bottles in his hand on the table, then picked up one of them and looked at it. Is this the potion synthesized by Garrel's stone? System, are you sure this bottle really has the magical effect you said? Answer to the host. Yes, the system will not deceive the host, so please rest assured that the efficacy of this bottle of medicine is only stronger than what the system describes. Really, since it is produced by the system, then I really don't have to worry about anything. Let me try the effect of this potion. The system's reply made Chen look forward to the potion's effects, so he opened it. One of the bottles, I drank it. After the whole bottle of potion had been drank, a warm current suddenly rose up in Chen's body, and after a while, it turned into a whole body of chakra full of vitality flowing in Chen's body, spreading all over the body. Chen felt that his already huge amount of chakra and the recovery speed of chakra had been significantly improved. It's so powerful, it deserves to be a fine product that took 20,000 points in exchange. I didn't expect that I have reached this level of strength and it can increase my chakra so much. Not only that, I can also feel my vitality and my body's ability to recover have both improved a lot. Feeling the change in strength made Chen feel very excited. After being happy for a while, Chen also calmed down. After all, with his current strength, there are very few things that can make him excited for a long time. Chen looked at the other 4 bottles of potions on the table and said with a wicked taste, since these potions are from Garrel's ore veins and their effects are so powerful, let's call them pulsations in the future. At the critical moment, let you pulsate back, hehe. I'll find a chance tomorrow and send a bottle to Sasuke. As for the rest, I already have a candidate, hehe. After speaking, he took all the pulsations on the table back into the space, and then he just rested without thinking anymore. Sorry, it's raining today, so I'm going to the internet cafe a bit late. Chapter 108, Asking for Orochimaru. Chen-jun, are you up now? Lord Orochimaru has come to see you in person. The next day, before Chen got up, he heard the voice of the pharmacist's pocket from outside the door. Orochimaru came to see me in person. Just let him hang out for a while. Chen didn't let Orochimaru come in immediately, but left him outside and washed himself. At this time, outside the door, Yaoshido and Orochimaru were both waiting. Master Orochimaru, listening to the movement inside, Chen-jun seems to have already woken up. Shall we go in directly? The pharmacist asked Orochimaru. No. He deliberately put me aside. It's really a child's temper, but anyway, Chen-jun is still a child now. Orochimaru shook his head and chuckled lightly said. If that's the case, then I will do as he wishes and wait for him for a while. I see. Hearing the words of Orochimaru, the pharmacist said nothing. After a while, Chen finally finished washing up, and then came out to open the door. Orochimaru, come to see me so early, what's the matter? After coming out, Chen asked Orochimaru. It's actually nothing. I just heard from the people below that Chen-jun is back. I wanted to come over to see Chen-jun yesterday, but Chen-jun was resting at the time, so I didn't come to disturb Chen-jun. Orochimaru snorted and said, won't Chen-jun invite me in for a while? Humph. Chen snorted coldly, didn't speak, turned around and returned to the room, seemingly acquiescing to what Orochimaru said. And Orochimaru didn't care about Yi Chen's attitude. After chuckling a few times, he also entered Chen's room, and the pharmacist's pocket followed behind Orochimaru. Chen returned to the room and sat on the bed, and then said to Orochimaru, sit by yourself. When Orochimaru sat on the only chair in the room, and the pharmacist could only stand silently behind Orochimaru, then Orochimaru smiled strangely and said to Chen, Chen-jun seems very uncomfortable. I'm glad. Is there something bothering you? Talk about it, maybe I can be of some help. Humph. Orochimaru, should you give me an explanation? Oh, what does Chen-jun want me to explain? Orochimaru pretended to be confused and said with a smile. Don't pretend to be confused by your understanding. When I was rushing to the land of wind, you dared to send a pharmacist to follow me. What is your intention? Who do you take me, Uchiha Chen? Soga, Chen-jun said that it was that thing. In fact, I just had a good intention. I asked Do to follow Chen-jun because I wanted to take care of Chen-jun, and there was no other meaning. Hey, Orochimaru, you don't have to fool me anymore. We all know what you mean, and I don't want to talk nonsense with you. Since you are so insincere, there is no need for us to cooperate anymore. Chen-jun, how can you speak to Lord Orochimaru in such a tone? At least have a little respect for Lord Orochimaru. The pharmacist on the side pushed his glasses and said with a chuckle. Shut up. You don't have the right to say anything here. Chen-jun wanted to shock Orochimaru, but he didn't expect that the pharmacist's pocket directly hit the muzzle of the gun. Chen directly turned on the kaleidoscope and glared at Yaoshido, but Yaoshido suddenly felt a burst of coercion, and then found that his position had become a dark place. There was nothing around, only himself was empty, and just now Orochimaru, who was sitting in front of him, had long since disappeared, and his body was still unable to move. Before Yaoshido could react, a pair of huge kaleidoscope writing wheel eyes suddenly opened in the dark, and the pair of writing wheel eyes were still pressing towards him. Every time the pair of writing wheel eyes approached him at one point, the coercion that he felt would increase, and even his breathing became difficult. An unreasonable sense of fear rose from the heart of Yaoshido, causing his body to shiver constantly, and cold sweat broke out. Just when Chen opened the kaleidoscope and stared at the pharmacist's pocket, Orochimaru felt bad, and hurriedly looked back at the pharmacist's pocket, but he was surprised. He was in a cold sweat, his expression was full of fear, as if he had seen something terrifying. Seeing this, Orochimaru knew that the pharmacist's pocket must have been hit by some trick of Lao-chan, so that's why it looks like it. Just a look can make Do fall into fear. Although Yaoshido is only a subordinate of Orochimaru, Orochimaru still values his subordinates very much, and he doesn't want to see Yaoshido play like this, so he pleads with Chen, why did Chen-jun make such a big deal? As for the fire, Do just respects me too much, and doesn't mean anything else. It's just that the language is a little offense. Just teach me a little lesson, and Do is my right-hand man no matter what, so please Chen-jun to give me a face, just don't make it harder. Humph. Since Orochimaru has personally interceded for him, then I can't help but give face. This time, forget it. If you dare to intervene next time, you won't be so lucky. Saying that this is still Orochimaru's territory, he has to save some face for him, so after a cold snort, he touched the state of the kaleidoscope and returned to his usual glasses. After Chen Zhang touched the state of the kaleidoscope, Yao Shido also regained consciousness and returned to reality from that dark place. However, even if he came back, he was still severely affected. Not only was he still in a cold sweat, but his mobility had not recovered. He was still standing there, shivering, and his eyes on Shang Chen were gone. The fun of the past, but full of fear. He tilde pocket, are you alright? Big, snake pill, sir, I am fine. At this time, the pharmacist Do couldn't even speak. In fact, what Chen released on the pharmacist was not a powerful illusion, but only under the blessing of the eternal kaleidoscope and the pressure of the kaleidoscope itself, it had that effect on the pharmacist, and when Chen automatically turned the kaleidoscope after the release, Yao Shido was freed from the terrifying oppression, and he was already full of resentment towards Chen, but he did not dare to show it. Chen sneered and ignored the pharmacist's pocket. Now he can't make a big wave. Continue our topic. I can stop worrying about this matter. However, Orochimaru, if you still want to continue with me if we deal with Akatsuki together, then I hope nothing like this happens again. And, I want to borrow a few people from you. Chapter 109, Transaction. Hearing Chen's words, Orochimaru asked in surprise, borrowing people? What kind of people do you want to borrow from me? I don't seem to have anyone here who is useful to Chen Jun. No, you have. I'm going to borrow 3 from you. Oh, tell me, which 3 are they? Ghost Lamp Shuiyu, Vortex Fragrance, and Changwu. Just these 3 people, how about it? Chen smiled and said 3 names. Huh, Orochimaru frowned and his expression darkened. Shuiyu, Changwu, how did Chen Jun know about these 2 people? You don't care about this kind of thing. I have my own news channel. Your spell seal has already been successfully developed, so those few people are not of much use to you now. You can say whether to lend or not. Borrow it. Do you even know about the curse seal? Hearing Chen's words, Orochimaru was surprised at first, then his voice became cold, and there was killing intent in his eyes looking at Shang Chen. After Chen Dao revealed some of his own secrets, Orochimaru had already murdered Chen. Although Orochimaru admires Chen very much, if Chen threatens him, then he will definitely eliminate Chen without hesitation. It seems that you have some bad thoughts on me. Feeling Orochimaru's killing intent, Chen wasn't nervous at all. If Orochimaru wanted to fight him for this, he wouldn't worry either. The big deal is to tear off the face directly and rob people by yourself. At that time, Orochimaru couldn't help him. Chen Jun, can you tell me, where did you get this information about me? Orochimaru didn't rush to do it, but continued to ask. I said these were all found out by myself, do you believe it? Oh, did Chen Jun check it himself? Orochimaru obviously didn't believe it. He thought that his affairs were very secretive. If it wasn't for someone he trusted, he wouldn't reveal some of his own affairs. He knew these things. There are not many people, and those people are his confidants. He has always been very accurate in seeing people, and his confidants will definitely not betray him. But where did Uchiha Chen know about the first-generation cells last time? I clearly remember that no information about the first-generation cells was recorded in that abandoned laboratory at all. What he said was a lie. Did someone really betray me and tell me Uchiha Chen all my secrets? If that's the case, wouldn't I have no secrets in front of Uchiha Chen? Orochimaru thought to himself. Seeing Orochimaru's gloomy expression, Chen seemed to know what Orochimaru was thinking, and said with a chuckle, "Don't worry, these things I'm talking about are not told to me by people around you. Whether you believe it or not, these information I found them all by myself, and that's all I know. Don't worry about me posing a threat to you. As you said, our common enemy is the Akatsuki organization, so I won't be stupid enough to build another one. It can make Konoha in the 5 great ninja villages have a headache for the enemy. Besides, the few people I mentioned just now are of no use to you, so instead of locking them up like this, it is better to hand them all over. Give it to me. Of course, I won't let you suffer. Having said that, Chen showed a playful smile, then took out a bottle of pulse from the space, and then twisted the bottle cap off. In an instant, a strong breath of life filled the entire room. This is... Feeling the strong breath of life, Orochimaru was moved, and then greedily looked at the pulse in Chen's hands. Seeing Orochimaru's expression, Chen sneered in his heart, then twisted the lid back, and said to Orochimaru, "This is what I call the Garel Stone, but now it has been synthesized by me as a potion. This is what I went to the Land of Winds for. How is it? It's not bad. As long as you give me those 3 people, then I can give you this bottle of pulse in my hand." Pulse. Oh, this is the name I gave this potion myself. You don't need to care, you just tell me whether it works or not. Orochimaru thought about it for a while, and it was indeed as Chen said. Their common enemy was the Shao organization, and what Chen said was not a very important secret. At the beginning, he was only studying the boundary of blood. Those people who were arrested and brought back for research are now useless to Orochimaru. If they can be exchanged for the pulse in Chen's hand, it will not be a loss. More importantly, he doesn't want to talk to him yet. Chen had a falling out. If he really had to face the Shao organization in the future, he might have to rely on Chen's power. Thinking of this, Orochimaru withdrew his murderous aura and showed his weird smile again. Chen-jun said it too. Those few people are really not of much use to me. And I also promised Chen-jun can enjoy all the resources of my Yinren village, of course, including people. Since Chen-jun wants, I can give them all to Chen-jun. However, it seems that those few people are not so easy to be tamed, especially its Shigego. You don't have to worry about this. Since I dare to ask you for someone, then I will be able to subdue them. Chen waved his hand to interrupt Orochimaru. Soga, since that's the case, they're all detained in several of my strongholds, so it will take a while to bring them here. I'll order them tomorrow, and let someone bring them all over. There's no need for anyone to bring them here, I'm going to find them myself. Really, since Chen-jun wants to go by himself, that's fine. When Chen-jun wants to leave, I'll find someone to lead the way for Chen-jun. Tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow. Chen didn't leave immediately because he still had some things to do. Tomorrow, I know, I will find someone to lead the way for Chen-jun tomorrow, then, if there is nothing wrong, I will not delay Chen-jun, and I still have some experiments to complete, so. Orochimaru looked at him with strange eyes grasping the pulse in Chen's hand, he said with a light smile. Haha. Of course Chen knew what Orochimaru was thinking, so he didn't want to hang his appetite, and threw the pulse in his hand directly to him. After Orochimaru got the pulse, he showed a frenzied expression, then opened his mouth and swallowed the pulse into his stomach, and said to Chen, "If that's the case, then I'll leave first." After he finished speaking, he turned and left, and couldn't wait to go back to study the pulse. After a period of rest, Yoshido also regained his mobility and left behind Orochimaru. The last chapter of today, continue to update tomorrow. Chapter 110, Tsunere Sasuke. After Orochimaru and Yoshido left, Chen also stood up, walked out of the room, and walked towards the training ground. After arriving at the training ground, only one figure was training in the huge training ground, and there were no other people. That figure is none other than the twin brother of the official Chen, Sasuke Uchiha. Since Sasuke came to the Sound Ninja village, the rest of the Sound Ninja did not dare to come here to practice. This huge training ground seems to have become a training ground dedicated to Sasuke. Looking at Sasuke, who was cultivating hard in the field, a playful smile appeared on Chen's face. Sasuke, who was practicing in the field, did not notice that someone was paying attention to him, and was still practicing desperately there. I saw that after he quickly formed a set of seals with his hands, he gathered chakra at the throat, and then turned around suddenly and sprayed a huge flame in the direction of Chen. Fire escape. The fire is extinguished. The flame spewed from Sasuke's mouth reached 10 meters in diameter, flew towards Chen, and arrived at Chen's place in the blink of an eye. All this happened so suddenly, I didn't expect Sasuke to notice when Chen entered the training ground. Chen's existence was just not revealed, but pretended to be unknown. After the seal in his hand was completed, he turned around abruptly, and Shang Chen launched a magnificent fire to extinguish it, wanting to kill Chen by surprise. Although he knew that this might not be able to cause any harm to Chen, at least he had to let Chen show his embarrassed attitude, so that he could ridicule him and avenge his previous kick. However, in the face of the blazing fire, Chen still had a playful smile on his face. There was no panic at all, and he didn't dodge. Just when the fire was about to hit him, Chen's eyes entered directly. In the state of a kaleidoscope, a small skeleton was instantly formed, wrapping Chen. However, Sasuke didn't see all this. He just saw that Chen didn't dodge, and was instantly swallowed up by the arrogant fire he released. This made Sasuke put away his sneering expression, frowned, and secretly said in his heart, "This guy, it is impossible to be recruited so easily, what the hell is going on with him?" Although Sasuke has been clamoring to get rid of Chen, but seeing that Chen was in danger, he couldn't help but worry, even he didn't realize it. But it is also, after all, the two of them are also twin brothers born at the same time, and there are only 3 brothers left in the Uchiha family, and Uchiha Itachi, the elder brother, is the enemy that Sasuke wants to kill. Although Sasuke and Chen have always been at odds, after the genocide, the only idiot brother Chen has been with Sasuke. Chen has always occupied a very important position in his heart, so after learning that Chen has been deceiving him all the time. That's why you're so angry. The arrogant fire continued to burn on the ground where Chen was located for a period of time, and a huge pit with a diameter of more than 10 meters was burned around it before it gradually dissipated, and the large pit was still emitting thick smoke. When the thick smoke dissipated, Chen's figure gradually revealed in the center of the attack range of the blazing fire. I saw that the big pit that was extinguished by the arrogant fire was not damaged in the center, which formed a sharp contrast with the surrounding, and at this time, Chen was standing on the only intact ground, surrounded by a chakra-shaped skeleton was wrapped, his body was unharmed, his hands were hanging, and he looked at Sasuke with a playful expression on his face. Yeah, Sasuke, who was frowning slightly worried just now, suddenly became angry when he saw such a situation, clenching his teeth and staring at Chen in front of him. I'm good at strength, not bad. Fortunately, my beards are not bad, otherwise I might really make me embarrassed. Chen Qing smiled and said to Sasuke in a playful tone. Chi. Sasuke snorted coldly and asked Chen, what are you doing here? Want to see my joke? Hee tilde don't say it so ugly, we are brothers after all, how could I do such a thing? Chen chuckled lightly, relieved Susaku's state, and then jumped in front of Sasuke and said. Humph, if you don't have anything to do, get out, I still need to practice. Sasuke snorted coldly, then turned around and ignored Chen. It's really indifference, thanks to me, I brought you something good, this is the treasure I've worked so hard to get. I don't need it, hurry up and don't get in my way. Sasuke didn't appreciate it, he didn't think Chen would be so kind. Oh, that's really a pity, for the sake of you taking care of me before, I also plan to send you this bottle of pulse, you know that I have worked so hard to get it back from the land of wind. A good thing that can not only enhance your physique, but also make your strength skyrocket, since you don't need it, forget it. Chen took out the pulsation from the space, then unscrewed the lid, pretending to be pity. Huh, Sasuke, who was still indifferent at first, heard Chen's words, and felt the breath of life and the power contained in the pulsation. He was moved, and quickly turned to look at the pulsation in Chen's hand, his eyes were full of eyes. Desire. Hee tilde how about it? This thing is not bad. But it's a pity, since you don't need it, I won't beg you to accept it, so you can cultivate slowly, and I won't disturb you. Chen Zhang the pulsation in his hand retightened the lid, then turned around with a pity face, and was about to leave. At this time, Sasuke's heart was very complicated. On the one hand, he didn't want to receive Chen's favor, and on the other hand, he longed for power. He was attracted by the pulse in Chen's hand, and was a little stunned for a while. It wasn't until Chen turned around and left for a while that he reflected, gritted his teeth, and made a decision in his heart. Wait a minute. Just as Chen turned around and took a few steps, Sasuke's voice sounded behind him, making Chen's footsteps pause. A playful smile appeared on his face, and then he turned to look at Sasuke and said, "What's the matter? You didn't want to cultivation. What else?" Looking at the playful smile on Chen's face, Sasuke's face was a little bit unbearable. He had rejected Chen categorically just now, but now he is still holding back, which made him feel very ashamed. I saw Sasuke turned his head to the side, didn't look at Chen. His expression was very strange, but he still said hesitantly, "You said just now, that's because you want to pay back. I took care of your love. That's why I took care of you. That bottle was for me, right?" "Oh, that's right." Seeing Sasuke's arrogant appearance, Chen felt amused. "Then, I can accept, as if we were even." Chapter 111, Retraining Sasuke. In the training ground, Sasuke said to Chen with a strange expression, "If you give me what you have in your hand, then we will be even." Haha that's right. Chen knew that Sasuke was a thin face, and if he tried to entice him again, maybe he really wouldn't want it. So I didn't show off anymore, and directly threw the pulse in my hand to Sasuke. After Sasuke got the pulse, he first looked at the pulse in his hand. Although he wanted to use it immediately, he didn't know how to use the pulse, and he didn't know what to do for a while. "You can drink this pulse directly, and then you can feel the change in yourself." Chen seemed to see Sasuke's embarrassment and reminded Sasuke aloud. Humph. Hearing Chen's reminder, Sasuke once again felt unable to hang himself, snorted coldly to cover up, and then twisted the pulse in his hand. Although he wanted to drink it all, he held back and turned his head. Said in a complicated tone, "Are you sure you want to give this thing to me?" "Hey don't worry. This kind of thing is not very useful to me, and I have already used it. Also, you don't have to worry about what I will do in it. Just rely on you. I don't bother whatever tricks you play. You can enjoy it with peace of mind. It will give you unexpected harvests." Quote. Hearing Chen's words made Sasuke feel very unhappy. After snorting again, he didn't hesitate anymore, and directly drank the pulse in his hand. Just after Sasuke drank all the pulsation in his hand, a powerful warm current erupted from his body, flowing through his body. Let the physical strength and chakra consumed by the practice just recover to a full state in an instant, fatigue is swept away. Moreover, his chakras have increased a lot, and his body is much lighter than before. Sasuke, who was already an elite Chunin, broke through to a special level of Chunin in one fell swoop. This feeling really excites me, Feeling the changes in his body, Sasuke, who rarely had mood swings, was overjoyed, holding his forehead and laughing wildly. My heart is full of confidence, and the eyes that look at Shang Chen again have become arrogant. This guy seems to have some bad thoughts again. He really remembers eating but not fighting. Do you forget who you are when you have some strength? Seeing Sasuke's expression, Chanbian knew Sasuke what was thinking in my heart. I must have just improved my strength, and then my self-confidence has swelled. It seems that the lessons I gave him are not enough. Chen Qin sneered. Hey, is it because of these things that you have the strength beyond me? After the strength became stronger, Sasuke's temperament changed again, and he said to Chen with a disdainful expression, "Now, my strength is also obtained. To improve, let you try my newfound power." As he spoke, he clenched his fists and rushed towards Chen. I'm stubborn, it seems that I'm still too kind to you." With a cold snort, Chen didn't mean to dodge at all. Instead, he disappeared in place in an instant, and then appeared in front of Sasuke, punching Sasuke's stomach. Wow this fist Chen didn't use any strange force, but it still made Sasuke feel that his internal organs seemed to have been displaced. But, damn. Humph. Chen sneered, showing no mercy, raised his foot again and kicked Sasuke into the sky. Then Chen jumped to the sky again, and greeted Sasuke again. Sasuke, who was flying up again, he smashed down to the ground at a faster speed than before, and smashed a hole in the ground. This time, Sasuke was seriously injured, and he lost the ability to move for a while. Able to stand up. Hey, start to be arrogant with a little strength. You are 10,000 years early. Looking at Sasuke lying in the pit, Chen sneered and said in a disdainful tone. Damn, this guy, how powerful is this? I didn't expect that with my current strength, I wouldn't be able to fight back at all. Damn, Sasuke's resilience was also amazing because he had drunk pulse. He who was seriously injured, after humming for a while, he recovered, and then struggled from the ground. At this time, he was pressing his chest with one hand, while the other hand wiped the blood on the corner of his mouth, and stared at Chen with his teeth clenched. However, he didn't attack Chen again this time. After drinking pulse and becoming stronger, Chen still had no power to fight back, which made him feel a deep sense of frustration. Although he is very good and strong, it does not mean that he is an idiot who does not understand anything. He already knows that the gap between him and Chen Zhijian cannot be made up by a bottle of pulse, so there is no foolishness to join up and be beaten. You're thinking, why am I so much stronger than you? Chen looked at Sasuke's expression, knowing that he was definitely not convinced, and said to him with a sneer. Humph. Sasuke didn't speak, but the expression on his face said it all. It seems that you really want to know, but well, I didn't want to tell you. Chen said with a sneer, then ignored Sasuke with a black line, and turned to the training ground on his own. Go outside. Tomorrow morning, wait for me at the gate of the village and follow me to a place. Chen said without looking back as he walked outside the training ground. Huh, Sasuke was stunned by Chen's words. Of course, he knew that Chen was speaking to him. He didn't expect Chen to let him wait for him. After he reflected, Chen had already left the training ground. Hey, idiot, why should I listen to you? Sasuke frowned and said unhappily. Then, without thinking any further, he turned around and continued to practice alone. After leaving the training ground, Chen returned to his room again. He didn't come out for a whole day, not even for dinner, and the pharmacist didn't dare to disturb Chen at all, so no one knew what Chen was doing. System, I would like to ask, is there any ability that can help other people's writing wheel eyes evolve into a kaleidoscope? Chapter 112, Go to the Stronghold. In the room, Chen asked the system, is there any method that can make people's writing wheel eye evolve into a kaleidoscope autonomously? Answer to the host, there is a way to have a certain chance to let the kaleidoscope writing wheel open its own eyes without exchanging the kaleidoscope, and since it is not directly exchanged, the ability of the kaleidoscope writing wheel is not a default, it is all about opening the eyes. This method requires 50,000 points lower than the points required to directly exchange the kaleidoscope writing wheel, but this method is not necessarily successful. Quote. Oh, what method? Chen hurriedly asked the system. The host can exchange the power of grief and resentment, and then inject the power of grief and resentment into the target, so that the target's emotions are filled with resentment and sadness for a period of time, so as to achieve the conditions for opening the kaleidoscope writing wheel. As for whether it can be opening, it depends entirely on the will of the target's heart. Also, the target must evolve the Sharingan to the level of Sengo Jade to be able to use this method. The power of grief. There is such a thing. It is 50,000 points less than the finished kaleidoscope sold by the system, so that's 50,000 points. If you can't open your eyes, does that mean the 50,000 points will be wasted directly? Already. Yes. If you can't open your eyes, the power of grief and resentment exchanged by the host will disappear after a period of time, and the redeemed points will not be refunded. This is equivalent to a gamble. If you can open your eyes, then you can 50,000 points in exchange for a pair of powerful kaleidoscopes. If it fails, 50,000 points are wasted. Quote. Is it 50,000 points? Chen looked at his remaining points, and there was only 51,000 left, which was just enough to exchange for the power of grief, and was thinking about whether to exchange it or not. That's right, Chen wants to help Sasuke's writing wheel to evolve into a kaleidoscope, because Sasuke's strength is too weak. Since Chen has already planned to compete in the ninja world, he must build his own power. As Chen's brother, Uchiha Sasuke, it is the most suitable, so Sasuke must be pulled into his own camp. Can Sengoku evolve? In the original work, when Sasuke was following Orochimaru, and in the battle between End Valley and Naruto, it seems that Sharingan has evolved to Sengoku, and before Sasuke and I played against each other, he seems to be Sengoku, so Sasuke has already met the requirements. Forget it, wait for him to certify again tomorrow. If it is really Sengoku, then give him a power of grief and resentment. After all, the points can still be used again. And I still have so many Garel stones in my space. After making the decision, Chen didn't bother about this issue anymore. He hadn't practiced for a long time. He just took advantage of nothing to do, so he entered the virtual space again, looking for a powerhouse that was comparable to him or stronger than him. Early the next morning, Chen walked out of the room. Last night, he stayed in the virtual space all day, fighting with different powerhouses. According to the time ratio, Chen stayed in the virtual space for almost 10 days. During this period of time, Chen has been using his eternal kaleidoscope shaking Wheel Eye and Mu Dun to fight, so he has used his kaleidoscope and Mu Dun with ease. Chen also withdrew from the space. Although he fought in the virtual space for a long time, Chen did not feel the slightest fatigue or discomfort at this time. He got up directly from the bed, and after washing, he walked towards the previous hall. He planned to see Orochimaru first. After all, this was his territory, so he had to say hello no matter what. And he remembered that Whirlpool Xianglin did not seem to be imprisoned, but was managing a prison for Orochimaru, so he might need some proof from Orochimaru to transfer Xianglin. After coming to the hall, Chen didn't see Orochimaru, but only met the pharmacist's pocket. Did Chen Jun come to find Lord Orochimaru? I'm sorry, Lord Orochimaru is in the laboratory now. When Orochimaru is doing experiments, I don't want to be disturbed. After seeing Chen, the pharmacist came to in front of Chen. He respectfully said to Chen. Doing an experiment. Hearing Yao Shidu's words, let Chen frown. He had already thought that Orochimaru should really study the pulse he gave him, but Orochimaru had already promised him yesterday. I think Chen Jun is looking for Lord Orochimaru because of what he said yesterday. Don't worry, Lord Orochimaru has already sent orders to go. As long as Chen Jun arrives at the base, he can directly take what Chen Jun wants. People, if Chen Jun doesn't know the place, I can arrange someone to lead the way for Chen Jun. Quote. Really, that's fine. As for the person leading the way, I already have a candidate, so you don't need to arrange it again. Hearing Yao Shidu's words, Chen was relieved, and then refused Yao Shidu's arrangement. The kindness of the person leading the way, ignored the pharmacist and turned away. Shit, has anyone already chosen? Looking at Chen's back, the pharmacist pushed up his glasses, showing a thoughtful expression. After Chen left the hall of Orochimaru, Chen Diao walked towards the gate of Yunnan village. From a distance, he found a man wearing a kimono, dressed uniquely in Yunnan village, with a long knife stuck in his waist. The figure was standing silently at the gate of Yunnan village with his eyes closed. Seeing the figure, the corners of Chen's mouth twitched slightly, and then walked towards the figure. Sasuke, I didn't expect you to come so early, I thought you wouldn't come. Chen Lai came to the figure and said jokingly. That person was Sasuke, and although he showed disdain yesterday, he rushed over early the next morning and waited for Chen. After hearing Chen's teasing, Sasuke opened his eyes, cast a glance at Chen, and said indifferently, Don't get me wrong, I just stayed in Yunnan for a long time, I want to go out for a walk. Really? It doesn't matter, let's go, I'll tell you our purpose this time on the way. And I also need you to lead the way for me. Chen waved his hand and walked directly to the outside of Yunnan village. After hearing Chen's words, Sasuke was very curious, but he didn't say much, but followed behind Chen and walked out of Yunnan village. Small tale, 475,137,322. 3 chapters are over, continued tomorrow. Chapter 113. confess the truth to Sasuke. Chen took Sasuke away from Yinan village, and although Sasuke was curious about Chen's purpose, he held back, didn't ask more, and walked behind Chen. Sasuke, I think you must be curious about the purpose of my trip. Chen, who had not spoken for a while, suddenly stopped and said after leaving the sound of ninja village. Huh. Hearing Chen's words, Sasuke, who was accustomed to being quiet, was stunned for a moment. He glanced at Chen and said nothing. Haha tilde tilde. Chen chuckled a few times, then turned to look at Sasuke behind him. At this time, Chen's eyes had turned into a kaleidoscope state, and Sasuke saw Chen turn around, so he subconsciously looked at Chen, but he didn't. Thinking that Chen would use the kaleidoscope writing wheel, so he was unprepared, and was pulled into the moon reading space by Chen in an instant. This is. In the moon reading space, the place Chen transformed this time was in the former Uchiha family's clan, and Chen did not limit Sasuke's ability to move, so Sasuke looked at the familiar and unfamiliar places around him in surprise. How is it? Do you feel familiar? Just when Sasuke was still looking around, a voice suddenly came from behind, causing Sasuke to turn around and look behind him vigilantly, only to see that Chen did not know when he appeared in front of him. What do you want to do when you brought me here? After seeing Chen appear, Sasuke, who was still surprised, turned cold, and said indifferently to Chen in front of him. Hehe, I think you shouldn't feel unfamiliar here. This is the clan of our Uchiha clan, but it was created by me. The place we are now is actually only in my monthly reading space. You do. Hearing Chen's words reminded Sasuke of some bad memories, and an angry expression appeared on his face. That's right, Tsukiyomi, you won't be unfamiliar with this. It's the illusion that Uchiha Itachi released to you and me after the genocide, and he seemed to release it to you not long ago. This should be the third time you have experienced the moon reading, right? Chen chuckled, and continued to say to Sasuke, the moon reading, the advanced illusion that can only be used by the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye, except for the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye of the Uchiha family. In addition, no one can resist. This spell will transfer the opponent's spirit to another world, and the time and quality of this world are completely controlled by the caster himself. The time in the fictional world is only a moment in the real world. The spell may cause the opponent's mental breakdown, and the degree of damage caused can also be controlled by the caster. It is a very dangerous illusion, and it only works when the eyes are facing each other. Sugar, this is the ability of a kaleidoscope to write round eyes. It's really enviable, but, are you showing off to me now? Sasuke looked at Chen's kaleidoscope indifferently, and said in a complicated tone. In fact, Sasuke didn't feel well. Among the three brothers, Itachi had turned on the kaleidoscope very early. Now Chen, who is the same age as him, has also turned on the kaleidoscope. Among the three brothers, he is the only one who has only evolved the writing wheel to Sengoyu. This is a very heavy blow to him, and now Chen is releasing the kaleidoscope pupil technique to him again. In his opinion, this is Chen showing off to him. No, I didn't mean to show off. The reason why I brought you here is because I don't want some people to know about our next conversation. Chen looked at the curse mark on Sasuke's neck, which was meaningful said. Huh. Seeing Chen's gaze, Sasuke reached out his hand subconsciously, stroked the curse mark on his neck a few times, and looked at Chen suspiciously. The curse mark on your neck is actually the medium used by Orochimaru to spy on you. Orochimaru can monitor your every move through the curse mark on your neck. But now we are in my monthly reading space, so don't worry about our conversations being heard by him. Hey, come on, you brought me out of Yinan village, and you used Yudu so much. What do you want to say to me? After hearing Chen's words, Sasuke was not sure about being monitored by Orochimaru. He didn't show any dissatisfaction, as if he didn't care. He just asked Chen calmly. Looking at Sasuke with complicated eyes, Chen didn't speak. After being silent for a while, he said to Sasuke in a complicated tone, Sasuke, you know why I also have a kaleidoscope writing wheel, but I haven't mentioned it. Is it about revenge? Hey, That's because you didn't take the hatred of your family to heart at all. You were afraid of the power that guy was in, so you didn't dare to seek revenge on him. You are a coward. After hearing Chen's words, Sasuke sneered. With a sneering expression, he said to Chen. Hee tilde tilde, do you think so? But, do you really think it's what you think it is? Sasuke. Humph. Isn't it? It's a waste to have those kaleidoscope writing wheel eyes on you. This is simply a shame for our Uchiha family. Sasuke looked at Chen's kaleidoscope, and a trace of jealousy flashed in his eyes, but with a pair of disdain the tone of voice said to Chen. Hee, it seems that you really resent the fact that I have a kaleidoscope, but it's time to let you know something. Chen didn't care about Sasuke's ridicule. After a few chuckles, yes, Sasuke said. Huh, what kind of story do you want to make up again? Sasuke still had a disdainful expression when he heard Chen's words. The truth of our Uchiha clan's tragic extermination, the truth that Uchiha Itachi has been hiding, the truth you have always wanted to know, I will tell you all. You have the right to know. Chen chuckled, said something to Sasuke that shocked him. Nani? What did you say? Could it be? What do you know? Tell me. After Chen said those words, Sasuke lost his calmness just now. His expression became stern. He rushed to Chen's face, grabbed hold of Chen's shoulder and questioned. This is the truth that Sasuke has always wanted for the original Uchiha clan to be exterminated. He has always been skeptical about the nonsense that Itachi said to measure his own energy, and he did not believe all of it, but for so long, he has never been able to get it. Knowing any clues, can only blame it on Itachi. Now knowing that Chen seems to know something, how can this calm him down? Chapter 114, The Reason. In the moon reading space, Chen is about to tell Sasuke the truth. Hee tilde tilde, what I'm going to say next may be beyond your understanding, so you better be mentally prepared. Chen reached out and pulled Sasuke's hand off his shoulder, then said with a chuckle. Speak quickly. I know, really, don't be so impatient. Since I've already planned to tell you, I'll definitely say it, but these things are long and involve too much, and they won't be explained in a while. It's useless for you to be in a hurry. Chen's thoughts moved, and a luxurious sofa suddenly appeared out of thin air in an open space in front of him, and then Chen walked to the sofa and sat down comfortably. After sitting down, Chen's expression also became solemn. Without saying anything, he asked Sasuke, Sasuke, you must have always thought Itachi was our enemy, right? Humph. Sasuke snorted coldly and said with hatred on his face, isn't that guy? Do you know that if it wasn't for what Itachi did, do you think the two of us would still be alive to this day? He has been protecting us all the time. Chen told Sasuke the secret. Impossible, Sasuke exclaimed. Protect me? It's to protect me. How could that guy? It's a big joke. What I want to know is the truth. If you say anything more absurd than this, I will kill you. Hee tilde tilde, what I'm saying now is the truth. Chen sneered and continued to say to Sasuke, you seem to know Itachi very well, but you don't know anything about him. Shut up. Don't mention that guy's name in front of me. Hee tilde tilde, it's normal for you not to believe it. After all, the fact that you have always believed, and suddenly learns another truth, is really unacceptable, but what I said is the truth. After a pause, Chen continued, did you know? The only people who know the truth are Danzo of Konoha, Hokage of the third generation, and Mito Kadome and Kaharu who served as consultants. After the death of the third generation, only those three are left to grasp the truth. Old guy, it is estimated that those three old guys will never tell about the scandal in the future, and this is what Itachi hopes. What the hell are you talking about? Is this what you call the truth? You are lying to me tilde tilde. Sasuke obviously didn't understand what Chen said, pulled out the long knife around his waist, and rushed towards Chen. Humph. Seeing Sasuke rushing over, Chen snorted coldly, his thoughts moved, and suddenly countless wooden sticks sprang out from under Sasuke's feet, and then wrapped around Sasuke's body, tying him firmly. It seems that you don't want to listen to me honestly and finish what I have to say. Then I'll have to tie you up and let you calm down. That guy killed mom and dad, slaughtered the whole family. Became a defector ninja. Joined Akatsuki's organization. He must be hated. How could he protect us? Calm down, still roaring at Chen. That night, it is true that he killed the Uchiha clan, and then escaped from Konoha. And the reason why he did this was because of the mission given to him by Konoha. This is the entrance to the truth. Chen Weiwei squinting his eyes, he said to Sasuke. Huh. Hearing Chen's words, Sasuke stopped struggling, then looked at Chen's eyes, and said in surprise, that's a mission. Yeah, that night, Itachi gave up on himself and completed the mission. It seems that you calmed down a little bit, Chen said jokingly. What the hell is going on? To talk about King Itachi, we must go back to the era when Konoha was founded. Itachi became a victim of fate since ancient times. Sacrifice. Yes, when the Konoha ninja village was born, there was a big problem, and this also determined the fate of Itachi. Although these things are relatively long, everything I said next is true. Do you want to continue listening? Saying this, Chen paused and looked at Sasuke's reaction. Go on. Haha that was more than 80 years ago. At that time, the world was in the Warring States period, where the smoke of gunpowder was everywhere. In that era full of wars, the ninja organization was still an armed group based on a clan. The country hired to participate in the war, and among the large number of ninja clans, there are two clans that are recognized as the strongest and feared, that is, our Uchiha clan, and the ninja clan known as Senzisho. Our Uchiha clan has excellent chakras and shakers, and is good at all kinds of battles, and is widely known as a fighting clan. At that time, a powerful ninja appeared in our clan, and he was the legendary Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara. That's right, in the Uchiha clan, Madara has a particularly powerful chakra. Madara was fighting all the time. In that era when power was everything, Madara did not hesitate to do anything for the most powerful power. Killed his friend and brother. That guy. Sasuke was shocked when he heard Chen's words. It is precisely because of this that Madara obtained a complete kaleidoscope and became the leader of Uchiha. Later, he used this power to confront the leader of the Senju clan, Senju Hakuma. The first man to have the name of Hokage, Chi in the Senju clan led by Shijuma, regardless of the ninja clan, admires them very much, and also fears them very much. As long as Senju moves, Uchiha will follow suit, because we are the only ones who can be their opponents. Uchi the Wave clan. So as long as a country hired the Senju clan at that time, Li Guo would definitely hire the Uchiha clan, like a dead enemy. In the duel with the Senju pillar, Uchiha Madara also rose to fame. Get famous. Did you steal your brother's eyes for this kind of thing? How could such a thing happen? Sasuke obviously couldn't agree with this kind of thing. That's right, I took it away. You don't have to be surprised. The Uchiha family was originally a group of people who would kill their friends in order to get a kaleidoscope, and would not hesitate to turn their fathers and sons against each other in order to obtain eternal pupil power. A filthy clan that prides itself on its strength. When you were born from this clan, you were already involved in this bloody fate. Tatsuya said to Sasuke with a grinning smile on his face. Damn, shut up for me. Sasuke couldn't accept the darkness of the Uchiha clan that Chen said, and roared at Chen. Seeing Sasuke's reaction, Chen put away his smirk, changed back to his original appearance, and said with a chuckle, haha just kidding, Itachi had such a disgusting expression back then, talking nonsense to me like this. Go, I just want to try this feeling too, so you don't have to worry about it. Sasuke was speechless by Chen's anger. But after being so troubled by Chen, the tense atmosphere just now was relieved. Chapter 115. The Truth. After making a joke, Chen continued to tell Sasuke. Following, the Senju clan proposed a truce to Uchiha, and our Uchiha clan agreed. The clansmen on both sides were tired of the endless fighting, and they had reached their limit. Finally, the two clans reached an agreement. It didn't take long for Uchiha and the Senju clan to unite and sign an agreement with the Country of Fire, which hoped for a stable territory at that time, and thus formed a strong organization of one country and one village. That is the country of fire and the Konoha ninja village. The system of one country, one village was imitated by other countries, and at the same time, the war gradually subsided, and a short-lived peace came. Quote. Chen paused and continued, however, Konoha was thrown into chaos because of something. Something. Yeah, for the battle for the village chief. That is, the battle for the position of the first Hokage. As you know, the one who got that position was Senju Hashirama. The country of fire and the villagers chose him, and Uchiha was obviously far from power. The center is getting farther and farther. Madara decides to choose a path that will allow Uchiha to dominate the village in order to protect Uchiha, and confronts Senju Hakuma for this, but even the Uchiha clan is reluctant to follow Madara and even think of discussed Madara. Uchiha, who wanted to start the war again, betrayed Madara. Madara left the village and lost everything. From then on, Madara became an avenger and challenged Konoha Ninja Village, but failed. In that the place called the Valley of the End, where everyone thought Madara died. Just like that, Madara was forgotten by everyone in history. Soon, the Uchiha family will also pay for their original choice. Said here, Chen showed a mocking expression and continued, Senju Tobirama. Konoha's second Hokage is a relative of the first generation. Brother, in order to avoid the recurrence of rebels like Madara, as a symbol of trust, the Uchiha clan was given a special position. Konoha police force. But in fact, it was to keep the Uchiha clan away from the village. Government affairs are also measures to put all the members of the Uchiha clan under the surveillance of the village. Someone in the Uchiha clan noticed this intention, and a rebel force that inherited Madara's will appeared, but it was too late. As time passed, the sovereignty it has already fallen into the hands of the Senju clan, and Uchiha, who was once full of glory, has also become the lackey of Chinsho. Hearing such a secret, Sasuke frowned, doubting Konoha in his heart. The fate of Uchiha after that can be imagined. After a certain incident, the Uchiha family was completely expelled. Could it be? That's right, the nine-tailed demon fox attacked 13 years ago. What does this mean? Sasuke asked in confusion. The only one who can tame and manipulate the nine tails is the Uchiha clan's pupil power. The upper management of Konoha believed that the incident was a conspiracy by someone in the Uchiha clan, and the Uchiha clan was therefore suspected of being a rebellion that wanted to seize power. Since then, the Uchiha clan has been more thoroughly monitored by Anbu, and the clan's residence has also been driven to the corner of the village, which is almost called a state of isolation. Sasuke's expression showed a little unwillingness and anger. Only the third-generation Hokage disagrees with this kind of treatment, but the leader of Anbu and other advisors disagree with his opinion. After all, the Uchiha family is still not trusted, and discrimination begins. Because the gap created by their distrust and suspicion has become a reality. The Uchiha clan attempted to stage a coup d'état in order to seize the sovereignty of the village. Nani? Sasuke asked in surprise. Hey, Chen sneered a few times, and then said, after learning about this, the upper level of Konoha planted a spy in the Uchiha clan, that is, our brother, Uchiha Itachi. Itachi. The gates of hell are thus opened. It's so possible. Sasuke's expression changed drastically, his eyes were full of disbelief. Uchiha tried to stage a coup. Itachi turned out to be a spy. You were in Uchiha and didn't know it because you were young, but these are facts. Wait a minute, you said that I was young at the time, so what about you? You were also as young as me back then. Where did you learn this? I'll tell you this later, let me finish first. Chen didn't answer Sasuke's question, but continued, our father, the mastermind behind the official coup d'état, and Itachi was the father who placed him in Anbu. The spy is to obtain the information of Konoha Anbu, but on the contrary, Itachi leaked the information of Uchiha to the village, which is the so-called double agent. What a burden, I'm afraid you can't understand. Quote. Why did Itachi betray Uchiha? Because of the war. What do you mean? In the Third Ninja World War, Itachi was only 4 years old and witnessed the deaths of many people. He experienced war early on when he was young. War is like hell, and the shadow also made Itachi hate war and became a peace-loving person. The man who will give priority to the stability of the village and is committed to peace, he is a ninja who will not be bound by the shackles of a family and loves the village. An eye for an eye. To fight against the Uchiha clan, you need to right round eyes. That's right, that mission is to obliterate the entire Uchiha clan. Damn tilde tilde. At this time, Sasuke's expression was distorted, his teeth were clenched, and he looked extremely painful. I can't imagine how Itachi felt at that time. Itachi was forced to make a terrible choice to attack his compatriots. This was an impossible choice. However, if a powerful ninja like the Uchiha clan chooses if there is a civil war, whether it is Konoha village or the country of fire, it will be greatly shaken, and other countries will definitely take advantage of it. This will even become the fuse of the Fourth Ninja War. Selfish thoughts. Many people will die in the ninja world, and even many innocent people will die. If you were Itachi, what would you do? Sasuke was speechless for a while. Chapter 116, Truth 2. In the moon reading space, Sasuke was unable to answer the question Chen asked, and fell into silence. So, Itachi decided to put an end to the history of the family by himself. This is not because he betrayed Uchiha because of resentment, but because he had no choice. The discrimination after the prosperity of the village, and the growing estrangement, Itachi shouldered the burden alone. For these, he sacrificed himself for it, so no one can blame him for making such a decision. In fact, Uchiha Madara Obito was also looking for an opportunity to start a war, because Madara was against Konoha and Uchi, who were established by Chisho. The Wave clan is full of resentment. Itachi also noticed this at the time. He was the only one who noticed the existence of Uchiha Madara. Wait a minute, you said Madara Uchiha, could it be that he? Hearing this, Sasuke suddenly exclaimed, his expression full of incredulity. Oh, it's Madara Uchiha, forgot to tell you. In fact, after Madara lost the battle with the first generation, everyone thought he was dead. However, Madara Uchiha didn't actually die, but hid. Even the first generation didn't notice this. I'm just stating some things to Sasuke here, and there's no need to explain the insignificant things so clearly. It's like Azumi's eyes were not actually taken by Madara himself, but it's like Kwana gave it to Madara herself before she died. Also Madara is pretending to be Obito, so I don't have to explain it to Sasuke, don't be too tangled. How is this possible? It's entirely possible. Believe it or not, Madara is indeed alive. At that time, Itachi noticed that Madara still existed, so he asked to meet Madara and put forward a condition to Madara that he could assist Madara in dealing with the Uchiha clan. Revenge, but the condition is not to attack the village. At that time, at the top of Konoha, only the 3 generations of Hokage wanted to seek other solutions. He proposed a reconciliation proposal with the Uchiha clan, seeking peace talks between the 2 parties. Then why? But the proposal for peace talks ended in failure due to the lack of time and the veto of the Konoha elders group. So what happened that night? It was a mission, as a criminal who killed the clan, with a stigma to become betrayal. All of this is a mission, and Itachi also completed this mission, except for the only failure. Failing to kill his own brother. Yeah. Sasuke's face was shocked again. Afterwards, Itachi begged the 3rd Hokage to protect us from the persecution of Danzo and other high-level officials. He was also making an agreement with Danzo and made threats. Itachi said, if you attack Sasuke and Tatsu, you will kill the village. Information was leaked to non-allied nations. However, because Danzo is a disciple of the 2nd generation of Hokage, influenced by the 2nd generation, he is well aware of the potential of Uchiha, so he proposed that the remaining Uchiha orphans, that is, one of you and me, should join him. Root. Gen. Sasuke exclaimed, and at the same time remembered the memory from a few years ago. The same person who called himself Gen wanted to take him away, but was stopped by Anbu who arrived in time. Yes, maybe you are still new to this organization, so, let me explain to you what kind of organization this is. Chen looked at Sasuke's expression, thoughtful, but didn't ask more, but continued, Root. It was founded by Danzo, and most of the members in it are the various Bloods and secret arts families in Konoha. The people of the tribe will be planted with various spells after entering, and then brainwashed, becoming a tool that the 6 relatives do not recognize and only obey the orders of Danzo. Compared with Anbu, it has greater flexibility, specializing in assassination, intelligence and other high-risk tasks. Those who have been carefully cultivated can only be hidden in the Dark Elite organization. Now, you know how terrifying this organization is. And, looking at your appearance, you seem to have had an intersection with them. Quote. That's right. A few years ago, there was indeed a person who claimed to be Jen, who wanted to take me away, but he was stopped. It turned out that he was a Danzo. Sure enough. Actually, Danzo's original target was me, Chen said with a sneer. His target is you. Then why don't you? That's right, he took me as a target from the beginning, because in his eyes, my talent, strength and potential are stronger than yours, so what he wants most is to control me. Chi. Sasuke snorted coldly when he heard Chen's boast. Fortunately, I realized his purpose first, because we were too weak at the time and had no strength to resist. So, in order to protect myself, when he sent someone to monitor me, I first thought of a countermeasure, that is to pretend to be mentally attacked and become an idiot, hoping to hide from his eyes. I am sure that if I become an idiot, then Uchiha's orphan will only be left with you. Even if Danzo wants to make up his mind hit you, the 3 generations of Hokage will definitely not agree, and will definitely stop him. It turns out that my idea is right. Although I have been an idiot in Konoha for so long, it is worth it, whether it is you or I, in the end, are at peace. Then why didn't you tell me then? Because I didn't dare to take risks. Danzo was too cautious. Even though I had pretended to be an idiot, he still didn't let down his guard against me, and still sent someone to monitor me. The consequences were unimaginable. I didn't even dare to go out for half a step, just for fear of revealing my flaws without realizing it. Now, you know why I'm deceiving you. Danzo. After hearing Chen's explanation, Sasuke was speechless. He could imagine Chen's situation at the time. If there was a slight error, he would fall into a doom. He didn't dare to go out and didn't say anything, and he had to pretend to be an idiot every day, and he was also cautiously afraid that he would reveal something. Every day, his nerves were tense, and Sasuke asked himself that he couldn't do this. Thinking of this, Sasuke's unpleasant feeling that Chen deceived him also disappeared. Small tale, 475,137,322. Everyone, don't worry about Kwana's eyes anymore, it's just telling Sasuke some facts, it doesn't need to be so clear, and I wrote this with reference to the truth that Obito fake Madara told Sasuke at the time. That's what I said to Sasuke. Chapter 117, The Power of Grief. At this moment, Tatsu and Sasuke were walking among the trees. After exiting from the reading space, Sasuke did not speak, and Chen did not remain silent. Before that, Chen confessed the truth to Sasuke, including Itachi arranging that he would die in the duel with Sasuke. He knew that all this was a big blow to Sasuke, and he needed time to digest those things. In this way, both of them were walking quietly without speaking. What do you want to do? Sasuke spoke up after a long silence. After hearing Sasuke's words, Chen stopped, sneered, and looked at Sasuke. Of course. Revenge. The Uchiha family has the highest honor, and finally got half of the credit when they established the Konoha ninja village, but because of the despicableness of Chincho Tobarama, Uchiha Madara denied Uchiha's credit, and only let us Uchi the Wave family did the hard work of guarding the public security and offending people, and even their basic political rights were deprived. In the end, it was because of the suspicion of the high-level Konoha that the survival and safety of our Uchiha family was threatened, so they were forced to launch a coup d'état. Everything is persecuted by the top management of Konoha, which is why this is the result. This is a debt that Konoha owes, and they must pay it back. Quote. Tell me, what's your plan? Sasuke said indifferently. Let's go to a few strongholds of Orochimaru first and get a few people out. In the next few things, we need to use their power. You want someone from Orochimaru? Sasuke asked in surprise. Don't worry, I have inspected those people. They are not the diehards of Orochimaru, and their abilities are also very good. As long as I guide them again, their strength will definitely be stronger. It will help, and if we want to deal with Konoha and Akatsuki, we must find some help. Humph, whatever you want, as long as you don't hold me back. Sasuke did not object to Chen's words. And, your strength. You are still too weak now, you must improve your strength as soon as possible. Chen looked at Sasuke and said playfully. Humph. Sasuke was very unhappy about Chen's expression, but there was nothing he could do. What Chen said was the truth, his strength was indeed too weak. Originally, I thought that after telling you the truth, you would turn on the kaleidoscope, but it didn't. But it doesn't matter, I still have a way, which may be able to turn on your kaleidoscope writing wheel. What did you say? Can I open my kaleidoscope's eyes? Sasuke couldn't keep his composure any longer when he heard Chen's words, and asked Chen excitedly. Yes, Kaleidoscope Sharingan is the bloodline limit of the Uchiha family, and it is an upgrade mode of Sharingan, so the conditions for opening the eyes are not that simple, but it is not as difficult as imagined. What Itachi said is to kill only the people closest to you can open your eyes, and that's right, that's because if you want to open the kaleidoscope, you have to go through huge negative emotions before you can open it. Therefore, after killing your closest relatives or friends, you will feel the pain in your heart. It will be full of sad emotions, so as to achieve the conditions for eye opening. But in fact, it is not necessary to kill their relatives and friends. According to inference, the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye can also achieve the conditions of eye opening only when the sadness reaches the limit. By chance, I got a magical power. As long as this power is hit on the target, it can make the target have great mood swings in a short period of time. I call this power, grief and resentment. Power. The power of grief. Yes, but there is one more condition that needs to be met in order to use this method to achieve the purpose of opening the eyes. What conditions? Sasuke asked nervously. Chen looked at Sasuke's eyes and said, then the writing wheel eyes of both eyes must have reached the state of Sengoyu. Hearing the conditions Chen said, Sasuke secretly breathed a sigh of relief. No nonsense, his eyes directly entered the state of writing wheel eyes, and in each of the two eyes lay 3 Guyu, which were slowly turning. Sure enough, it's all 3 Guyu, not bad. Your eyes have already met the requirements. Looking at the 6 Guyu in Sasuke's eyes, Chen's mouth was slightly raised, and he said with a light smile. At the same time, Chen secretly contacted the system and said, System, exchange for me the power of grief. Ding! Redemption is successful, points are deducted. 50,000, the host's remaining points. 1,000 inches. The prompt sound of the system recalled that Chen's points were suddenly deducted, and at the same time, there was a transparent glass jar in Chen's hand. This is what I just said. The power of grief. Chen raised the glass jar in front of Sasuke and said to him. I saw that the jar in Chen's hand was transparent, and there was a gray smoke-like object inside the jar, floating in the jar. Can the contents of this jar really allow me to open the kaleidoscope writing wheel? Sasuke said nervously, looking at the jar in Chen's hand. I can't be sure about this, I can only say that there is a certain probability. As for whether it will succeed or not, it all depends on your fortune. There is one more thing I want to remind you, if you use the power of grief, then within a period of time, you will be. Are you sure you want to make you rush to incomparable pain? Chen said to Sasuke. Hearing Chen's words, Sasuke didn't show any signs of fear, but asked Chen back, did you open the kaleidoscope writing wheel because of the so-called power of grief and resentment? Forget it. Whether it's a kaleidoscope or the power of grief, it's all exchanged from the system, so Chen didn't deny Sasuke's words. Leave it to me, since you can open your eyes, then I will definitely not lose to you, and I can definitely open the kaleidoscope writing wheel, Sasuke said firmly, his eyes also full of confidence. Really, whatever you want. Chen didn't say much, and handed the glass jar in his hand to Sasuke. Just break the jar. Then he ignored Sasuke and continued on his way alone. After Sasuke got the glass jar, his expression was very excited at first, and then he made a decision in his heart. His eyes became solemn, and then he smashed the glass jar with one palm. After the glass jar shattered, the gray ball of smoke inside the jar instantly floated to Sasuke's chest, and before he could react, it crashed into his chest at once. Ah! A howl filled with grief and resentment resounded through the woods. Chapter 114, Seeing the Moon for the First Time. Chen just walked out not too far. Suddenly there was a wailing from behind, which made him pause, and then continued on his way. Chen secretly said in his heart, "Haha tilde I can only help you so much. As for whether you can turn on the kaleidoscope writing wheel, it depends on your good fortune." Chen didn't worry about Sasuke's safety. Failing to open the kaleidoscope wouldn't hurt much. At most, it was just a waste of 50,000 points, and it was no big deal. So Chen was not waiting for Sasuke. He knew that Sasuke would definitely catch up. Sure enough, it didn't take long for Chen to realize that he was being watched, and the corners of Chen's mouth twitched slightly. "You are good at strength, it seems that you have succeeded." Chi! A cold snort suddenly came from a certain tree behind Chen, and then a figure suddenly jumped in front of Chen. The person who came was Sasuke Uchiha. The corners of Sasuke's mouth were raised at this time. His face was full of joy that could not be concealed, and he had undergone earth-shaking changes. Originally, he had only special strength in the shinobi. In a short period of time, he has already having reached the level of elite Jonin. Chen can feel an unprecedented confidence from him. "Has your strength improved to such a degree?" "Sure enough, you have successfully opened the kaleidoscope shaker." Feeling Sasuke's strength, Chen showed a playful smile and joked. "Humph." Sasuke didn't speak. He snorted coldly, and then slowly closed his eyes. When he opened it again, the three-hooked jade in his eyes had turned into a hexagram pattern. This is the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye, and the original one exactly the same. Moreover, Sasuke's kaleidoscope is not a finished product exchanged by the system, so Sasuke's kaleidoscope ability is not the default. Although this is a kaleidoscope opened by the power of the system's grief and resentment, it is a kaleidoscope opened only by Sasuke's will, so its kaleidoscope's ability is also related to Sasuke's will. Sasuke said with a sneer, "I didn't expect to find me. It seems that even if my strength has improved, I'm still not your opponent. How strong are you?" "Well, don't worry about this problem. One day you will reach such a high level, and now let's get down to business." "Okay, let's talk about it first. Who is the person you're looking for?" Sasuke asked Chen after he lifted the kaleidoscope state. "There are 3 people we are looking for. One is in the western stronghold, called Gaidong Shuiyu. One is in the southern stronghold, Xianglin, and the northern stronghold is Changwu." "It's them." Sasuke had a surprised expression on his face when he heard the names of the 3 people mentioned by Chen. "Yes, it seems that you are very impressed with them. We want to achieve that goal, and it is more efficient to conduct activities in small groups. Of course I have an impression of them. From the moment I approached Orochimaru, I took this situation into consideration, so I selected a capable ninja. I didn't expect that the person you chose was actually the one I saw in the first place." "Ninja," Sasuke explained. "Really, as expected of my brother, I didn't expect our thoughts to come together unconsciously," Chen said to Sasuke with a playful smile. Of course, this is all nonsense. He chose those people because he knew the plot in advance. "You should know the strongholds of Orochimaru, right? Let's go." "Humph." Sasuke snorted coldly, did not speak anymore, but walked ahead to lead the way, while Chen followed Sasuke's footsteps and rushed towards Orochimaru's stronghold. The 2 of them didn't speak anymore along the way, and kept on their way. After a period of time, Sasuke finally brought Chen to the stronghold where Orochimaru detained Gaidong Shuiyu. "Here, let's go in." The two entered the stronghold of Orochimaru together. Since Orochimaru had already issued an order, and also that Orochimaru's subordinates knew Sasuke and Chen, they did not dare to embarrass the two of them. To the laboratory where Shueyu was imprisoned. Is it here? Chen looked around the laboratory and found that there were countless transparent cultivation tanks. Chen didn't know that Shueyu was placed in the cultivation tank, so he asked Sasuke, "Know him where?" "Come with me." Sasuke walked towards the pile of cultivation tanks in front, and stopped directly in front of one of the cultivation tanks. I saw that the culture tank was filled with unknown liquid, bubbling from time to time, and there was nothing else in the tank. "It's you. I didn't expect to meet again so soon. You shouldn't have killed Orochimaru by now, right? So, what are you doing here?" At this moment, a voice came from the cultivation tank in front of Sasuke. "Come." "Yeah, I really didn't kill him, but I can let you out now," Sasuke said calmly, and then reached out and grabbed the handle of the long knife hanging around his waist. Immediately after a flash of cold light flashed, the culture tank in front of Sasuke was suddenly cut open, and the liquid in the culture tank spewed out from the opening and flowed to the ground. Although I don't understand what's going on, but I'm finally free. A head emerged from the pool of liquid on the ground and said with a chuckle. "Thank you, Sasuke." "Shueyu, it's you first, come with me," Sasuke said indifferently. "It's me first. It looks like you have someone else," Shueyu said while crawling out of the pool of liquid. "Yeah, there are two more people after that, Chongo from the northern stronghold, and Xianglin from the southern stronghold." "Soga. What's wrong?" "It's nothing, I just don't like them very much." At that time, Shueyu had completely crawled out of the pool of liquid, but at this time, she was naked and sneered at Sasuke in front of him. "Let's not talk about me, even both of them have chosen, what do you want to do?" "Sasuke. Stop talking, put your clothes on, and just follow me." Sasuke dropped these words indifferently, then turned around and walked outside. "Ah, ha ha ha, what an amazing character." Shueyu looked at Sasuke's back and laughed a few times, and then instantly disappeared into the liquid on the ground. When he appeared again, he was already standing by Sasuke. Behind him, a finger was placed on Sasuke's temple at the same time. "Let's confirm the relationship between you and me first. What do you think?" Chapter 119, Swirl Fragrance. On a road leading to the land of waves, three people were walking leisurely. One of them had white hair and was wearing purple sleeveless clothes, while the other two looked exactly the same, and one of them had a handle on his waist. Long knife, walk in the front. These three are Chen and his brother Sasuke, and the white-haired one is one of their new targets, Ghost Lamp Shueyu. Their current purpose is to lead the way by Sasuke to go to the country of waves to take the beheading sword that was never cut again. But before that, since Shueyu had just been released, she didn't want to obey Chen's orders, and was abused by Chen Yongyu to read, and she was obedient to clean up, so she didn't dare to be arrogant in front of Chen from now on. Of course, the current Shueyu is the same as in the original book, and wants to use the beheading sword as his weapon. Chen will of course satisfy this requirement, so let Sasuke lead the way and rush to the country of waves where the beheading sword is stored. "Hey, boss, isn't Senior's beheading sword really in the country of waves?" At this moment, Shueyu, who was beside Chen, asked Chen. "Don't ask me, you should ask Sasuke. It's so boring." Shueyu didn't get discouraged when she didn't get an answer, but said to herself, "The big swords of the 7 ninja swordsmen are traditionally handed down from generation to generation, and I admire the 7 ninja swordsmen. Since all the talents have worked hard to cultivate, since the senior is no longer there, then the beheading sword should be kept by me." Humph! Chen just snorted coldly at Shueyu's self-talk, without answering, and was rushing on the road, while Shueyu saw that Chen didn't answer. He ran to Sasuke again, put his arms around Sasuke's neck, and walked side by side with Sasuke, and then Sasuke said, "Sasuke. By the way, I heard that your team did it, right? If you beat Sasuke, don't kill the senior. Tell me," said, "wouldn't it be very powerful if you don't kill the senior again?" Hearing Shueiyu's words, Sasuke was stunned for a moment, and then fell into memory. Shueiyu waited for a long time and didn't hear Sasuke's reply. She felt strange and asked Sasuke suspiciously, "What's wrong?" "Sasuke." Shueiyu's words will fall into memory and Sasuke wakes up. "It's nothing, let's go." "Really?" Shueiyu said helplessly, and then didn't say anything more. In this way, the three of them didn't speak anymore, and kept on their way in silence. After that, after traveling for a while, Sasuke finally brought Chen and the others to the Naruto bridge during their previous mission in the Land of Waves, and came to the grave of Zabuzan and Shiro. However, the beheading sword that was placed in front of the grave has long since disappeared, and the three had to leave. In a small town in the country of Waves, they learned that the beheading sword had fallen on a man named Dahei Tianshin in the Land of Water. Hence, on the surface, Daikoku Tianshin is a statesman, but in fact he inherited the position of leader of the Great Thieves Group, and it is said that he has thousands of mercenaries to protect him. Of course, this was not in the eyes of the three of them. Sasuke alone destroyed the gang of robbers, and Shueiyu also obtained the beheading sword that would never be cut again. Next, the three continued on their way to the next stronghold of Orochimaru, and that stronghold was on an isolated island in the sea. The three did not take a boat, but covered the chakra on the soles of their feet and walked directly on the sea, as if walking on the ground. "Hey, boss, can you tell me why you need to gather your companions?" Shueiyu came to Chen's side and asked Chen suspiciously. "I have my purpose, and in order to achieve it, it is more efficient to conduct activities in small groups." Shueiyu continued, "But, even so, I don't think it is necessary to choose Xianglin at all. That guy is different from me. She is Orochimaru's subordinate and is responsible for guarding the southern stronghold where Orochimaru's prisoners are held. He only obeys Orochimaru's orders, and more importantly, her character is really unlikable. Indeed, there are many ninjas who are easy to control and powerful, but that guy has special abilities that others don't have." At this time, Sasuke next to him said, "Okay, I don't deny this." Shueiyu turned her head with a chuckle and said to Sasuke playfully, "Okay, don't talk, we're here." At this moment, Chen stopped Shueiyu, who was planning to continue, and Shueiyu also closed her mouth after hearing Chen's words. At this moment, the outline of a small island appeared in their sight. The three of them did not speak anymore, and walked towards the small island. After a while, they landed on the small island. After Shueiyu broke the gate of the base with a beheading knife, the guards in the base also rushed out and surrounded the three. "Bastards, who are you? You dare to trespass here, do you know whose territory is here?" It seems that not all of Orochimaru's subordinates know Sasuke and Chen, but in the group, a guard waved his hand. The big knife in the middle shouted at Chen and the others. Chen didn't have the heart to talk nonsense with them, and said impatiently, "Go away, let Xianglin come out and see me." "Bastard." Seeing Chen's attitude, the dragon set obviously didn't take him seriously, which made him very angry, and was going forward to teach Chen a lesson, but he was held back by his partner. "What are you doing?" Being pulled by someone made him very uncomfortable, and shouted at the partner who was pulling him. "Do you want to die?" Those two who look exactly the same are the Uchiha brothers next to Lord Orochimaru. "What?" The man broke into a cold sweat when he heard his companion's words, but he knew that Sasuke and Chen had a great position in Orochimaru. After learning the identities of Chen and Sasuke, he quickly retracted the knife in his hand, and said to Chen tremblingly, "Chen. Lord Chen, and Lord Sasuke, I. Don't talk nonsense, let Xianglin come out to see me." Chen didn't take the offense of this trick to heart, but urged them. Yes, I'll report Miss Xianglin right now." The dragon trousers hurriedly bowed to Chen and said again and again, and then just turned around to report Xianglin, but at this moment, a female voice suddenly came from behind the crowd. "No need to report, I already know." The group of guards automatically separated from the middle, giving way, and a tall girl stepped out from behind the crowd. I saw that this girl had long red hair, a pair of glasses on her face, a long-sleeved shirt on her upper body, and a pair of ultra-short hot pants underneath. It was the second goal of Chen's trip, the whirlpool. Fragrance. Chapter 120, Northern Stronghold. Sure enough, it's you, Sasuke. I didn't expect to meet again so soon. Xianglin, who just appeared, looked at Chen and Sasuke, who looked the same, and said indifferently. Although Sasuke and Chen look exactly the same, Xianglin can still tell which one is Sasuke from the chakras of the two. Yo, Xianglin. Really, I'm here too, why don't you say hello to me? Shuiyu stepped forward and said with a chuckle. Tell me, Sasuke, what's the matter with you coming to me? Xianglin ignored Shuiyu, didn't even look at him, and continued to say to Sasuke in front of him. No, it's not Sasuke looking for you, it's me. Sasuke didn't answer Xianglin's question, but Chen stepped forward and said to Xianglin with a chuckle, I'm looking for you. You, Naoka, you are the brother who looks exactly like Sasuke, Uchiha Chen. So, what are you looking for me for? Xianglin cast her eyes on Chen, although she was surprised by the looks of the two of them. But did not show it, still said calmly. Xianglin, come with us, we need your strength. Chen chuckled and stated the purpose of their trip. Ah, why should I go with you? I'm also in charge of this side. You are no longer needed here. I think the order from Orochimaru should have been passed down. Someone will take your place. On the other side, in the Sound Ninja Village. Orochimaru, who had been in the laboratory for 2 days, finally came out. At this time, Orochimaru was listening to what the pharmacist reported to him. Master Orochimaru, 2 days ago, Chenjun had set off from Yinan village to our branch, but this time he took Sasuke-kun away. Did you take Sasuke? Yes, Sasuke-kun seems to have left with Chen-kun voluntarily. They showed that they went to the western stronghold and released the ghost lamp years. Now they are rushing to the southern stronghold where Xianglin is located, the prison at sea. Really, don't worry about him, just let him be. Orochimaru gestured to the pharmacist. But is it okay to have Sasuke-kun beside Chen-kun? Hey don't worry, it's impossible for Sasuke to betray me, and I'm watching Sasuke's every move, so there's no need to worry. But it seems that the relationship between the two is not as difficult as imagined. Could it be that some reason has eased their relationship? Forget it, don't worry about them, as long as it doesn't interfere with me, just let them go. Yes, I see. Well, you go down first. Let's cut the camera to the protagonist's side. After some negotiation, Xianglin left the sea prison with Chen and the others. At this time, the 4 of them were walking back on the sea in the direction they came from. Very good, then next, only Chongo in the north is left. On the way, Shuiyu suddenly said leisurely, what? Do you want to go to Chongwu? Shuiyu's words made Xianglin startled. Asked anxiously. That's right, Chongo is the last one, but you seem to be very afraid of him. Shuiyu said with a playful expression as she smiled at Xianglin. Bastard, I didn't say that I was afraid of him. But you said that you are going to the northern stronghold, a guy like you will definitely be killed immediately once you get there. Xianglin retorted. Really, I've only seen it on the map. Is it really that dangerous? Shuiyu put away her playful expression and asked Xianglin seriously. When referring to the northern stronghold, Xianglin's expression also became solemn. The northern stronghold is not an ordinary stronghold, it is a human testing ground, and all the monsters contained there are born and uncontrollable. Although I do not know what your purpose is, but do you know Shigego's origin and want him to be a partner? Hey, I know a little bit. I have played against him before. He is a very strong guy who can use special abilities, but there is a feeling that I don't understand him, and I can't like him. Shuiyu said with a light smile, listen. Saying that he was caught by Orochimaru because he threw himself into a snare, I guess there is something wrong with his brain. According to rumors, the usual Chongo has always suppressed his abnormal impulses. Once he can't hold it, he will turn into a terrifying murderer, and even his personality and appearance will change greatly. Xianglin recalled focusing on my information, he said solemnly. That is to say, he is a guy who likes to kill and has a bad temper. Even so, for Orochimaru-sama, Chongo's ability used to be quite attractive. Orochimaru extracted enzymes from Chongo's body fluids that can induce the same state in other ninjas. You should know that. Then it's a curse mark. And Shigego is the only prototype. Humph. Stop talking nonsense, hurry up, I don't want to waste too much time. Chen shouted. Yes, don't say it. Hearing Chen speak, Shueyu, who wanted to continue the conversation, closed her mouth. After the four of them landed on the shore, they hurried at full speed towards the northern stronghold. After another long journey, they finally arrived in the Gobi, which was full of strange rocks, and the stronghold of Orochimaru in the north was hidden. Inside the Gobi. Xianglin, quickly find the stronghold of Orochimaru for us. I see, I'm dead, wait a moment. I saw Xianglin said unhappily, but after listening to Chen's words, he closed his eyes and sensed the direction of Orochimaru's stronghold. I found it, over there. Xianglin opened her eyes and walked in a certain direction first. Chen and the others could only follow behind her. Not long after, a secret stronghold appeared in their sight. Here, the Changwu you are looking for is in this stronghold. Are you sure you really want him to be your partner? Before arriving at the stronghold, Xianglin asked Chen and the others solemnly again. You're not talking nonsense. We've already arrived here, should we just go back like this? If you're afraid, you can leave first. Shueyu sneered at Xianglin with a light smile. Let's go. Ignoring the bickering between the two, Chen and Sasuke walked towards the stronghold first, while Shueyu and Xianglin had no choice but to follow.